Please subscribe and repost this. Let's make this the #1 sports podcast. We're really doing sports here. Okay? Thank you.
On today's Part of My Take, we have our very, very, very good friend and colleague, Ryen Russillo, on the show, talking college football, talking NFL, maybe sprinkling in an NBA question.
Some fitness,
some life advice. He's in a little hiatus right now, so he's probably got a lot to dump out of his brain.
Hiatus from what? Not the gym, I hope.
No, he go subscribe to his new show. It is out, I believe, November 3rd is the first episode, the Ryen Russillo podcast. We're going to talk the doubleheader from hell, Monday Night Football. We're going to talk some World Series. We are set. The Toronto Blue Jays have made it to the World Series. We have Hot Seat, Cool Throne. We have FAQs. And guess what? Max is going to press the button on time. It is all brought to you by Game Time. The NFL is in full swing. Tailgates, pack stands, the buzz before kickoff, but getting in, nightmare. Queues, price jumps, getting logged out mid-click. All you want is to be there, beer in hand, losing your voice with the crowd. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to fans. The hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. Hank, what do you got for us? Game Time.
Game Time.
Yeah. He was ready. He was ready to go.
You got a game on Game Time?
You got a game.
You can go to the Bulls game. Pistons at Bulls.
That's nice for the NFL read. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code PMT 20% or $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code PMT for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go.
Browns at Patriots, $207.
All right, there we go. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. $207? $20 off. Use code PMT on the Game Time app. So go right now. Use the Game Time app. We use it all the time for tickets.
I got a great deal right here.
Yeah.
Commanders at Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Monday night, 2 of the best seats in the entire place.
Yeah.
Only $1,000 each.
Wow.
That is PFT time.
Nice.
Not Game Time. Hit me up if you want those great. What a matchup.
Yeah.
What a matchup.
Hey, you can sell your tickets on Game Time as well. So
I might do that.
Use that code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Wednesday, October 22nd, and the Toronto Blue Jays are in the World Series. It was quite a scene in Canada on Monday night. What a Game 7 that was, PFT. George Springer.
It was George Springer does it again. Maybe the most clutch postseason hitter of the last, 15 years?
Third all time in postseason home runs now, which is pretty crazy. That will be a trivia fact that you don't get right in 20 years.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Can I guess the other two?
Yeah.
One's got to be Manny.
Okay.
Right?
All-time home runs.
In postseason?
I think the stat was go ahead.
Oh, it was go-ahead home runs.
Is it? Or is it?
Most career postseason home runs. Manny is correct, number 1. Good call, PFT.
But that is not the stat.
Jose Altuve is second. Kyle Schwarber is tied for third, and George Springer's tied for third. Now he's third.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it right now.
Insanely
most
clutch
career
guy.
postseason home runs. George Springer hit his 24th home run, and boy, did it matter.
And he did it after getting absolutely drilled in the kneecap with a fastball just a few days before.
Yeah, so where do you land? I saw there was a lot of karma because Mariners fans apparently jeered and booed George Springer when he got drilled in the kneecap and looked like he was injured. There were then Mariners fans being like, we were doing it because of his link to the Astros, not because we were rooting for his injury. I have no problem with all of it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, if he was like severely injured, then you would have to like apologize for booing him.
Yes.
But the fact that it was just really, really painful.
And then he ended your season.
And then he ended your season. Hey, that's sports, baby.
Yeah.
That's why we watch. But yeah, the Blue Jays, they're a very fun
Toronto
team.
Blue Jays.
Well, so that's the thing is at the games, they chant, "Let's go Blue Jays."
Yeah. Well, they're Canadian. They're allowed to do that.
I'm going to continue to say Toronto Blue Jays. I'm not going to be
you said Toronto Blue Jays.
or just Blue Jays.
Yeah, just Blue Jays.
I'm not going to be bullied by some. Was it one guy?
It was one guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Get your own podcast, buddy. You can say whatever you want. But the Blue Jays are, they're a fun team. They've got obviously like.
Are you talking about the Toronto Jays?
I'm talking about the Blue Jays.
Oh, I know them as the Toronto Jays.
The Blue Jays. They've got some very fun players. We should be excited about that. The pitching probably is going to be a mismatch in favor of the Dodgers in the series. But they've got some clutch dudes. They've got Springer. They've got Vladdy.
They got Max Scherzer.
They got Max Scherzer, who is a fucking psychopath and will do anything that he possibly can to win. I'll be rooting for Mad Max.
He will also tie the record for most teams played for in different teams played for in a World Series with 4.
So
Lonnie Smith.
Or the Rangers, right? He pitched for the Rangers? Yeah, I forgot about that. I feel like Max is a gnat for life, though. But they also have...
Tigers fans are not going to be happy about that.
I mean, he won a...
I know, you're right.
He's a great pitcher for the Nats.
The Tigers having Verlander and Scherzer in their prime.
Insane.
Yeah.
And officially, Bo Bichette is coming back now.
Yep.
Everyone thought, myself included, he would be back for the ALCS. He was not, but then he said after the game he's coming back for the World Series. And if you don't know, Bo Bichette I think he had the second most hits in baseball this year. It's a big addition.
Yeah.
For the Blue Jays.
And the Toronto Jays get home field advantage. So that's, listen. I'm not going to say it's not going to be like the Brewers. They're not going to the Toronto Jays are not going to lay down like the Brewers did.
You know what's crazy is that the Blue Jays are, I guess this is a Blue Jays stat when you're looking at the gambling lines for the series, but under 5.5 games for the World Series is plus money. It's plus 125. So everyone out there that's thinking that it's a sweep or the Dodgers in 5, you can make a pretty good return on that.
I hate that bet just because when you have a World Series where you have no rooting interest, I just want it to go 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I also feel terrible for Mariners fans.
Oh,
that was a tough night. The vibes were so high. Cal Raleigh hitting that home run into their own bullpen, and the bullpen catcher who caught that, it was his birthday.
Yep. And it's just like this just shows playoff baseball. It's like you have one it's not even a bad inning. It was like a bad 2 at bats where it's just that's all it takes. And it's boom, your season's over. And 48 years the Mariners have been a franchise. They have never been to the World Series. They were that close. It's brutal. And it was even more brutal that the Seahawks were winning, but when they had that, there was like that 1 minute where they just started showing Mariners fans watching the game in Seattle and seeing that they lost. Well,
there was one exact moment, and it was right when Springer hit the home run. It was side by side. Or no, it was when they lost.
Yeah.
Officially at the end of the game. Top of the 9th inning, 2 strikes. I was watching, I had the multi-view going on, so I had the baseball on one, Monday Night Football on the other, and the ref in the football game went out to midfield and explained the fact that the Seahawks actually don't get safety. Yeah. They don't get a touchdown. It's actually going to be a touchback, and the Texans will retain the ball at the exact time as J-Rod struck out.
It was not great. I do feel gutted for Mariners fans, but it's tough because it was not like a Mariners Yankees. It was the Toronto Jays have not been to the World Series since Joe Carter, since the back-to-back championships.
Yeah.
So it is Canada's team, and I'll say this: the Dodgers are obviously favorites. The Dodgers are a super team. The Dodgers look unstoppable. If there's one guy, like when you're going up against the Dodgers, you need one guy who's like, fuck them, I'm the man, and Vladdy is that guy. Think about this. Vladdy is so confident. He showed up to Game 7 of the ALCS to punch a ticket to the World Series in an Austin Matthews Toronto Maple Leafs jersey.
Yeah.
That is the ballsiest thing you could possibly do. You are literally asking for the entire world to meme you to death if things don't go your way in Game 7.
Famous Game 7 success haver Austin Matthews.
And the Maple Leafs.
That'd be, if like Connor McDavid showed up to a Game 7 wearing a Jim Kelly jersey.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent. That's what we're looking. That's like if you won the 50-50 wearing a Pete Rose jersey.
Yeah.
It's like
it'd be like if Connor McDavid showed up 3-1 in a series with the Chris Paul jersey on.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
It's ballsy as fuck. I love Vladdy's big ass.
And he's I mean, Max, you're a baseball guy. Like you need that one guy who's like, fuck them all. He said it to the Yankees. He hated the Yankees. He's got that kind of aura swag. They're like, fuck it, we're underdogs. Who cares?
I think they got no shot.
Oh, okay.
No shot. I love
But
that.
Max, Max, hold on. Explain though. I think you've explained it before, but you're just rooting for the Phillies to be the only team to have had a chance against the Dodgers.
I just don't think they have. The Dodgers are too good. They don't have the pitching.
I mean,
they don't.
Gausman
have the pitching.
They have
Gausman
guys
is like Gausman would be their fifth starter.
I know. Gausman, you Savage, Scherzer. You need to. Guys just got to nut up. They got to nut up.
I mean, if you look back at big game pitchers, Max Scherzer is right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's old.
40.
He's old. He's the kind of guy that now he'll like.
He had a good game, and that's the thing. The Mariners lineup is good. The Dodgers lineup is also better.
The Dodgers just have dudes everywhere. Well, I mean, the Dodgers have the scariest part about the Dodgers is they have like 3 absolute studs, and then they have guys who are having like Mookie Betts is a stud, but he's having a down year, but he could be good at any time.
It doesn't matter. No,
like
he's
Tommy
having a great
Edman,
playoffs.
yeah, he's having a great playoffs. So like I'm just saying, like if you even just take out, like if you're like, all right, if we can pitch around Shohei and Freddie. Like there's just guys everywhere.
Yeah, there's 6
Teoscar, and then like
Kike Hernandez is just like a postseason.
Tommy
legend.
Edman's gonna hit a home run.
Yeah.
Max, fact or fiction? You hate the Blue Jays because of what Joe Carter did to you.
I was dead.
Actually, he's right. He was dead.
Yeah, you were dead.
He was not. If you're not alive, you're dead. He was dead.
Yeah,
you were unalive at the moment. You were pre-born.
I mean, I guess I get mad watching that clip, but I can't.
He was
I
dead.
Can't really get mad. I don't.
But
your
dad got mad at that home run.
Oh yeah.
And you were swimming around in his balls.
My dad was for sure not happy with that.
I like how anything that happened before you were alive, just being like, I was dead for that.
Yeah, I was dead for that.
I was dead.
But Philly hates Toronto because of that.
Sure, yeah.
What Max? Oh, I should have. Sorry, we're 10 minutes into the show. Are people able to listen to this show right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Or should you be soul patched?
No, no.
Max took down the cloud last night.
You didn't press the button.
I did. I
explain it to the listeners.
We were gonna. Zach was gonna bring it up in Who's Back.
Okay, all right. So that's a nice tease or hot seat, cool throne. Okay,
or
that's a nice tease.
I'm still asleep.
Should we?
Well, first, did you see after the game? Did you hear the primal scream from the Mariners clubhouse?
Oh yeah, incredible.
Can we play that?
That was the most relatable. What are you supposed to do besides just screaming "fuck" at the top of your lungs?
Who were they interviewing? Brian Wu.
They were interviewing Brian Wu, who gave up the big home run to George Springer, which was
And you just
what a scene, man!
Just hear this yell in the background.
There's nothing like playoff baseball, like crowds.
Here, listen to this.
Having gone as further than any other team in franchise history.
I mean, that's an awesome scream.
Also, the Toronto Jays locker room, I've never seen a locker room go quicker into just a full-on nightclub. It was insane in there.
Yeah, they party.
Like lasers and smoke and just looked good.
Do you think we're going to get a Mares bet for this series? Kendrick Lamar and Drake?
Oh, I forgot about that. Nice storyline.
Big storyline in this one.
Huge storyline. I like that. They should go to a game together.
It'd be fun.
That would be cool. Yeah, look at that. Look at the locker room. That's a straight up club.
That can't be That can't be the locker room.
That's the locker room.
That legitimately looks like a club.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's the biggest locker room ever.
It was instant too. Hang on. Oh
Look
man,
at that.
It's insane. Yeah, there's a
disco ball in there.
There's lights. There's a fish concert.
How
It's
close?
a full light show.
I'm just thinking about Drake. How close is Dodger Stadium to an elementary school?
Oh, no.
Let's see. Can't. That's not going to happen.
All right, should we talk Monday Night Football, the doubleheader from hell? Because it was like the first game, the Lions and the Bucs. Lions are just, that was the most Dan Campbell awful loss. Like we're still the best. We're gonna shove it down your throat. But the game was so frustrating because it felt like it wanted to be like a track meet shootout that just never broke out.
It also felt like Baker, at some point, Baker was going to do his fourth quarter thing and bring him back, but he didn't have his best night last night.
He was so off.
He was off. Also, the Lions' defense they were
Awesome.
getting after him.
Yes.
Like Hutchinson was getting after him and hitting him.
Yep.
And I feel like the Lions are officially back.
But they're never, if they lose a game, just bet on them the next week.
Yeah.
That's just what they do.
Dan Campbell's going to be just locking him in a cage, poking him with a stick all week, getting him fired up, getting him angry, getting him violent. And it was a decisive victory.
Hell of a Amon-Ra, thank you, finally scoring first touchdown. But the Lions, so I was thinking about this. Yeah, but Baker had a very off night. It's okay to say that. He looked bad. Like you could tell almost instantly he was airmailing guys. He was missing wide open receivers. I feel like this does happen, once or twice to everyone, even the best quarterbacks in a given season. And I'm not worried about the Bucs overall, though. Broken clavicle for Mike Evans sucks. He just can't stay on the field this year.
That was tough. I also thought Amon-Ra had maybe the coolest play of the night, and it was on one of his teammates' coolest plays of the night when Jahmyr Gibbs got that first down on that like option pitch that they ran, like almost a jet sweep or a reverse to Amon-Ra, who then pitched it to Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs gets hit behind the line of scrimmage twice, and Amon-Ra gets behind him and just grabs him and dives and shoves him forward past the first down line. It was awesome to watch. Watch this.
It was funny, too, because Troy Aikman was just like, that's all Amon-Ra. It's like, that's all Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, well, Amon-Ra was kind of
he had some
helping him there. I have a take. Why don't we – it was Amon-Ra – just getting him the extra yards, and Jahmyr Gibbs is so fast. I have a take. Why are we never saying, and I'll fix this going forward, Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back in football? Because I think he is.
He could be, yeah.
And I think that he gets obviously dinged for having to split carries with David Montgomery, but the best running back in football the answer is usually Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley or Jonathan Taylor. I think it's Jahmyr Gibbs. He has played 39 regular season games. He's averaging 100 yards and from scrimmage and a touchdown in 39 games. That's so he has 3,900 yards and 38 touchdowns in 39 games. He is so fucking good. I think I'm going to start saying that he's the best running back in football. I'm going to put more respect on his name. I think it is partially because, his first 2 years he split a lot of carries with David Montgomery. Now it feels like they're like, all right, he is David Montgomery maybe not getting as many carries because Jahmyr Gibbs, that's one of the fastest I've ever seen someone on a football field.
Yeah, and they laughed at the Lions on draft night.
Dude.
Laughed at him. Great
the whole
pick.
entire
Good pick.
The Lions, all the nerds and analytics were like, hey, you don't build your team out of running backs and linebackers. Guess what? The Lions did, and it works.
Well, they also have a great offensive line, but Jahmyr Gibbs is, he's definitely, I'd say he's without a doubt top 3 running back in the NFL right now.
I'm saying best. Now, this season. By the way, Penei Sewell also going. I wish
that was so funny.
I wish he had gotten that block because he was
running so fast,
so fast.
He was running too fast.
Yeah, he overran himself.
He couldn't slow down to make a block.
His body went too fast.
He was just I think he was just really happy he was running fast.
It's just open and free,
Forgot
just running
to block.
down there.
Yeah, they need to get the ball in Penei Sewell's hands more this season. I want to see him carrying the ball. I want to see him on a screen pass. I want to see him catching a lateral. I want to see that man in the open field with the ball in his hand just running people over.
Also, shout out John Hussey. A lot of John Hussey.
Now, okay, so the Lions were the better team last night.
Yes, and Baker was off.
Yeah, they deserved to win. They deserved to blow out I guess you could call it a blowout, but it was decisive. They deserved that. The better team. There was that fourth down challenge that turned into maybe was it really even a challenge? Was it Sky Judge? Was it Roger Goodell on a mouthpiece from New York telling them to overturn the call? There is something weird that happened during that call. I don't know if you heard John Hussey's explanation behind it, but I've never heard a ref talk like that before.
Yeah.
He came out after he went under the hood for a second time, and he said, after a second look. He didn't say after further review. Every other ref I've ever heard has said after further review. He said after a second look. We gave it a second look, and then he announced what it was, and he said, and also we're giving Detroit back its challenge, and we're giving Detroit back its timeout. Like he was almost playing to the crowd a little bit.
Yep.
Every other ref I've ever heard, they do like the passive language. They're like, Detroit will not be charged with a second challenge. Detroit will not be charged with timeout, but they're like, no, we're going to give it back to him.
Yeah.
It was a staggeringly informal way of announcing that. And it just seemed like somebody might have put that in John Hussey's ear.
That's just Hussey time, baby.
Yeah. It was really strange the way it was presented.
Maybe the Lions deserved one from the control center.
After the Jared Goff.
Yeah, after the Jared Goff. By the way, to the point of the Lions building the team, the way they built the team, Jack Campbell, which also was laughed about, since tackle data began being tracked in 1999, Lions linebacker Jack Campbell is Detroit's first player to log at least 7 tackles in each of his first 7 games of a season. He's pretty good. That defense, when they get healthy, that's a good defense.
Yeah.
That's a really good defense. Also, Jahmyr Gibbs, when he was asked about his juke, he said, I don't call it nothing. That's just me watching YouTube and shit. I don't really know what that means, but it sounds cool.
We got to watch more YouTube.
We got to watch YouTube and shit. All right, second game. I'm so done with the Texans.
Listen, both teams tried to give this game away. The Texans, I don't know if they practice plays on offense. I don't know if they have a playbook. If it's just run the ball up the middle. Mm-hmm. And then if it's a passing play, it's just like, okay, whoever's on the outside, just try to get open. I'll hit you downfield. Their offense was so frustrating to watch.
So frustrating. And it was the combo of frustrating to watch and also the late game. So you had to ask yourself, am I going to do this for another half? And then the fumble, who was a strip sack in the end zone for the Seahawks to get it back to, for the Texans to get it back to a 1-score game. Will Anderson, you're like, I was right about to turn off the TV.
Yeah.
And then it happened. I was like, well, God fucking damn it, the Texans.
And they kept
go away.
That game was the ultimate, like, I want to just turn this game off. Give me a reason to, and they just wouldn't.
Will Anderson kept us all awake.
It's the entire Texans defense. The Texans defense made it impossible to stop the game because they kept forcing turnovers. And that defense is fucking incredible.
It's so good. It's just wasted on whatever it's a lack of weapons. Obviously, the offensive line stinks. CJ Stroud also, he doesn't look great.
No, he doesn't.
Misses guys
until like late in the fourth quarter. He was stuck at like 130 yards passing. He wasn't really doing much. There was no creativity also in the offense. The offensive coordinator for the Texans calls plays like he hates his own team. Mm-hmm. He's like, he'll do the thing where if you can't get a yard, we don't deserve to win this game.
Yeah.
So let's just run the ball up the middle and prove we can get a yard. You're not going to get a yard with that offensive line against the Seahawks defensive line. And the Seahawks defense is also like world class. The Seahawks defense is really good. I thought Sam Darnold actually played pretty well.
Yeah.
And with JSN, it feels like that's the thing that can take the Seahawks to the next level. Right now, JSN is probably having the best season of any wide receiver.
I was going to say, that was my other hot take. Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back. Jackson Smith-Njigba is the best wide receiver this year.
He's having the best year.
Yeah,
for sure.
I know that the answer would be Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and CD.
I might even put Puka,
but he's tied he's first in yards. He's tied for 5th in receptions. I think he's 3rd in receptions of all wide receivers. And he is 4 touchdowns on the season. He's 3 games in a row over 100 yards.
Yep. I think
credit to the Seahawks too for saying, "Hey, we can trade DK."
Yeah.
We have a dude here who can be a true number 1 and everything can fill in after him.
And he was like in the slot more last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're moving him out, and he's even better out there. He's had over 79.5 receiving yards in every game this season, except for Thursday night when he had 79 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Seahawks offense, they continue to be fun to watch because they take so many shots downfield.
Yeah, I'm buying the Seahawks.
They bomb it. And the funny thing to me is their running game, because you never know who's going to look like their number 1 back on any given night. Like last night, I thought Charbonnet looked stronger, more explosive. And then every other night, I feel like I'm watching Walker being like, they need to give this guy the ball more.
Yep. I have 4 teams that I put in the Texans category of, in theory, I like them, but in actuality, I'm sick of their shit. And it's the Texans, it's the Jaguars, it's the Chargers, and the Falcons. Those 4 teams, in theoretically, I like them.
Yeah, but their offense.
But then they play, and I get so frustrated watching them play.
The offense was bad last year too.
No, I know.
So, C.J. Stroud, he's I think second team all bad body language.
But still, they won a playoff game last year,
They did.
right?
That defense did.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, the CJ Stroud was pretty good in that game too.
Yeah, he was pretty good, but I mean, it was what Herbert threw 4 picks, I think.
Yeah,
3?
he was not great.
Yeah,
it was not
but-
his best game.
C.J. Stroud seems really, really bummed out. He seems just as bummed out playing for the Texans as we seem watching the
Watching.
Texans.
Are we done with Monday night doubleheaders? Is that it officially? Hopefully.
I hope so.
It's got to be. It's week 7.
Although I do like the back-to-back games, I just don't like them. It felt like this was later.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It felt like this.
I'm with you.
I don't know if it started at the
wasn't-
same time, but it ended at
felt like
like
it was.
12:30, and the game just dragged on.
Yeah, they
Done,
did.
done.
They've done it back and forth. When the Bears played the Commanders, that was a staggered start.
They did
Yeah.
2 that were staggered, 2 that were back to back.
They're probably just testing.
But I think maybe it was just because the first one was Chargers Raiders, and that just feels like a later game.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
does
Like
feel.
the Texans playing late night didn't really feel like they were supposed to play that late.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
actually a really good point that I agree with, because the Texans aren't a late night team.
Chargers
if
Raiders.
this-
It's like they should be playing at 10 o'clock every time they play.
Yeah, if this was Raiders Seahawks,
Yeah.
it would have made perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have a Raiders Monday night game. Oh,
Commanders Chiefs.
we have a Panthers Monday night
That's going to be
game.
scenes, PFT.
absolute scenes in Arrowhead.
Oh, we have a Cardinals Monday night game.
Cardinals Cowboys, gross.
We have some gross Monday night games.
Eagles Packers.
They can flex
fun.
some of these. Oh no, we have a Dolphins Monday night game.
I think that's flexible, isn't it?
They have to
Week
flex
15.
it. Flex it now. Do it right now.
Imagine this. It's December 15th. It's like a little snowy, a little sleety outside, and you've got Tua going into Pittsburgh. How does that end?
I don't.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good
13
for
to
anyone.
6.
Tua is still going to be the quarterback for the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel did say Tua will be a starting quarterback this week, and his expectation is that they will not throw 10 picks.
Okay, that's good.
So that's a good expectation.
That's good. Hey, under promise, over deliver. If he throws 9 picks, hey, I told you.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to clean up?
I don't really.
Are you going Monday?
I think I'm going to have to go. Yeah, it's Monday night.
Your team needs you.
You never know. I'm not going to back down. Yeah, actually, you know what? I might just flip my mentality. I might put on my Hank hat for a second. We're talking about an October football game. Like, wake me up when it's playoff time. This team doesn't. We don't even take things seriously until the playoffs. We're a playoff team. Okay, that's the championship mentality.
Okay.
That's what Hank criticized before last year, was not understanding how to be a winner.
Right.
Like, who cares about October? How many teams have started off 3-3, 4-4, 3-4, and then gone on and had playoff success? A lot. It happens all the time.
PFT, I had a question for you about Magic Johnson. Does it suck? I have alerts on for him.
Yeah, same.
And him just dropping random Commanders tweets. Because on Sunday night,
Yeah.
he dropped one at 1 a.m, and it just was, for my Commanders, what a difference a year makes. We had a very few injuries last season, but a lot so far this season. That was the whole tweet.
Facts. That's what Magic
But
does.
it would piss me off getting that random alert at 1 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, I also have had Magic Johnson notifications on for quite some time to stay current on all the breaking news 24 hours later. And yeah, last year it was great, where randomly on like a Tuesday morning, he would tweet out like, wow, what a great game by my Commanders against the Tennessee Titans last week. And then he'd just like list 2 stats from the game. It's not as fun this year when it's negative news, but he's right. I mean, there's just a ton of injuries. So, but you know what? Screw it. Money. This is championship DNA. All right. This is what you have. These are the games you have to surprise people and win. You go into Arrowhead. The Chiefs look like they're unbeatable. The spread is what, 10.5 points, 9.5. I don't know where it's at right now. This is a game that you have to win.
What is it on DraftKings?
Commanders currently have an 11% chance to make the playoffs.
11%. Yep. That's fine.
It's going to be a lot higher after you go into Arrowhead and win.
Yeah, statement game. Passing of the torch.
Will you be going money line on the Commanders?
Uh,
That was to Hank. I assume you don't need to because you're rooting for the Commanders very hard. Plus 455. Hank, where are you going to get in his hole?
Yeah, I will. I'm on the I love Baker, but I'm now on like betting on outcomes that help Drake May win the MVP. Like last night I was on Baker, interception, under yards, team total under.
yeah.
And it's
You're
now
just
now,
spite
now we
betting.
got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes in the crosshairs.
Did you bet Drake May to win the MVP?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just say that's a probably easier way to do that than having to follow along.
No, you gotta
anyone
do
who
both.
could
Well,
be
no, yeah,
considered.
I bet it. Now I'm trying to
Yeah,
will
you're trying
my
to
bet
will
to
it,
the
will
finish
it
line.
into.
All right, here's a fun little thing that I did.
He jumped to third last night.
Last Tuesday, October 14th,
He's fourth.
I put a bet on the Commanders money line in Arrowhead on last
Great
Tuesday.
line value.
Incredible line value. It's plus 205. The bet that I got. I think they're now plus 800.
They're plus 450.
Okay, plus 450.
Yeah.
So yes, I do have a bet on Commanders money line for Monday night.
Hank is now offended
That
by
Baker,
DraftKings.
Yeah,
That Baker is third and Drake May is fourth.
that is offensive.
It's offensive to you.
I mean, you can make money off that though, Hank.
True.
You got it, Hank. Okay, let's do Hot Seat Cool Tyrone. It is brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. We're talking about DraftKings there. The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins with every possession, giving you a shot at real money. Franz Wagner, Sengun, Deontay Murray with Pick 6. Their stats aren't just highlights. They're your way to get in on the action this season. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on two or more stats and unlock the upside every game brings. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. No gimmicks, no convoluted rules. Just you, your gut, and a shot at big returns. The NBA moves fast, and with live picks, you can keep up. Jump in as the game unfolds. Every bucket is a chance to chase that upside. Pick 6 is available in Texas, California, Missouri, and more. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball. Cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. Play just $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. We're also brought to you by our good friends at Twisted Tea. We love Twisted Tea here. Twisted Tea is a refreshing hard iced tea made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea is the perfect alcohol/beverage to keep the good times going all season long. Whether you're hanging out at a friend's house, catching a game at the stadium or at the bar, or just seeing where the day takes you, Twisted Tea is there to turn your day up a notch and make a good time a great time. So keep it twisted. I love the original Twisted Tea. Peach, also delicious. What's your favorite PFT?
I like the half and half. Yeah, half and half is great.
Half and half is so good. Twisted Tea is so delicious. And grab a tea. It's game time. Stock up on ice cold Twisted Tea today. We love Twisted Tea. We were drinking it last week. I was drinking it a week and a half ago. I don't, I'm not getting out as much with 3 kids, but when I'm out, it's Twisted Tea time.
Yeah, me and PFT were drinking Twisted Tea on the golf course. We did our match. That comes out today, Wednesday.
Oh.
Part 1 comes out Wednesday. Part 2 comes out Friday. So
part
9 holes
2.
Wednesday, 9 holes Friday.
It was quite
For
a match.
everything.
It was
Yeah.
quite a match. Things got serious.
Yeah.
Things were uncomfortable for Memes and Max.
Okay, so
and Zach a little bit on the course.
grab a tea. It's game time. Stock up on ice cold Twisted Tea today. Hank, hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat, I just can't, I couldn't help myself but to bring up this story because it's just so fake, even though it's like Hollywood gossipy love story, whatever, page 6.
Go on.
Dua Lipa,
Uh-huh.
you're familiar,
Dewey.
is dating this guy, Callum Turner, who I don't really know, but whatever.
Sounds like you're jealous.
Callum sounds like a hot guy name.
Yeah, no, he's a hot guy. She's hot. It's a hot couple. They're hot. No beef, but he revealed to the Sunday Times, fiance, so I guess fiance, he revealed that they were reading the same book the night they first met. We sat next to each other on a plane.
Huh.
Realized we were reading the same book, which is crazy. It's called Trust by Hernan Diaz. I had just finished the first chapter. I told her, and she looked at me and said, I just finished the first chapter too. And I said, so we're on the same page.
That's so gross.
All right. You think it's fake?
Do you think he set it up?
That's what I'm thinking, Big Cat. I'm thinking my man Callum did some digging behind the scenes, found out what book she was reading, bought that same book maybe at the airport bookstore, and then brought it onto the plane so they'll have something to talk about.
He's an English actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. With an English accent saying, oh, we're on the same page.
Oh, so we're on the same page.
So we're on the same page.
I'm just trying to be hot.
That's puddles.
It's too, yeah.
You got her.
It's too much. Too much. But not, yeah, whatever.
You don't love love?
I love love. This one,
Sounds like you don't love love.
couldn't, and it's who cares? It's Hollywood.
Hank
It's
just
fake.
he couldn't imagine himself bonding with a woman over a book. Mm-hmm. That's the thing.
On a plane. Yeah. Fakest plane book story, love story of all time.
I can think of one.
My cool throne is Utah hockey.
Oh,
Okay.
They have a hockey team.
The Mammoth.
They have had one.
They had one last year.
The Mammoths, yeah.
Mammoth.
I
The Mammoth.
Did it take a while to get to you, the news?
Yeah. I knew they had a hockey team. I didn't know it was the Mammoth. I thought they might have changed.
The Mammoth is this year. Last year was Utah Hockey Club.
That's what I thought. That's
Okay.
where I got confused. I saw the Sharks because the Sharks haven't won, and the coach said he would give up his kid to get a win, which is tough, like 5 games in the season.
Well, it's tough for the
guy.
kid. He's basically saying he hates his kid.
But then it was like they lost to the Utah Mammoth, and I was confused because I didn't know that was their mascot. So
Yeah.
Okay.
so
They
cool.
unveiled it.
That was a cool throne knowing the Utah mascot.
Yeah, cool throne for you guys. I thought I was gonna like be a reveal.
You thought you were going to reveal that to us? They did a big reveal 2 weeks ago.
You revealed it to me, Hank. I had no idea.
Thank you,
Zero
Max.
clue.
Well,
Thank
you
Max.
also didn't know that there was a London game until like midnight.
Yeah, sometimes you miss stuff.
I do like the logo though. The logo's metal as fuck.
It's way better than the hockey club.
Yes, and he broke out of a big ice block. The Mammoth.
I like that. I like when they do mascot origin stories and
Yeah.
they show like the birth of it.
Yeah, like Dinger.
Dinger, or when they had the Robo Duck from Oregon pop out of the shell.
Yep. Shout out to Mammoth. Shout out to Mammoth.
Shout out to Mammoth.
We should do that as a weekly segment. The big reveal, just something that we can try to stun each other with something that has been out for a while.
I mean, you guys are acting like I'm sure there's a lot of other listeners that did not know that the Utah Hockey Club was
Not
not the
us,
Utah
we're
Mammoth.
puckheads.
I think that's fair. That's fair, Hank.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just saw the video when it came out, so if
bet-
I hadn't, I'd be with you.
I bet there's listeners that didn't even know the hockey season started yet.
I bet there are listeners that are shocked that they're listening right now because Max finally pressed the button.
This you're
Yeah.
Memes is loving this.
No, this logo is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
The
It is.
mountains inside of the head.
The NHL has been on a heater with new logos. Like the Kraken, I'm all on board for that. Mm-hmm. Mammoth. Mm-hmm. Things are getting better in the
Tusky.
NHL. Tusky is his name?
Tusky's the mascot.
Let's play Fleetwood Mac Tusk.
Love that.
PFT.
My hot seat is complaining about the refs
Yeah.
because we actually had a ref in the NFL save a man's life last night. JSN was
Yes.
under attack on the bench, and then NFL official, he used to play actually in the league, Nate Jones, I think he was a side judge, sprinted over, weaved his way through the mosh pit, and then threw himself onto JSN like a live grenade. Mm-hmm. Or he actually did become that meme of the soldier that's protecting
Yes.
the person, the
Yes.
baby, the sleeping baby. And he shoved JSN's face into his titties, gave him a little motorboat, little lap dance on the sidelines. I wish that it had happened to like one of the league darlings. If this had happened to Patrick Mahomes and you have a ref that's hugging him, that would have been such a good thing that we could just always refer to in the future. But shout out to this guy, put his life on the line. So we should be saying his name every time we talk about, what's his name, John Hussey.
John Hussey.
For every John Hussey,
We're getting Hussey time.
there's 10 Nate Joneses out there that are willing to die to protect a player in the NFL. So credit to him.
Strictly facts.
It was great. And then my cool throne is sports rivalries, specifically the Boston-New York sports rivalry. It's back on, Hank. It's back on.
What happened?
There was a report that came
Tibbs?
out yesterday that, well, there's two sides to it. The Knicks tried to hire Joe Mazzulla, last year. You remember when the Knicks were doing their thing where they just like asked other teams if they could have their head coaches?
And they all said no.
And they all said no. They really tried to get Joe Mazzulla. And then the Celtics were like, no, and also here's a new contract, Joe Mazzulla. So we're keeping you around. Now,
Thank God.
if James Dolan was smart, I would say that he's trying to get other teams to just have to pay their head coaches more and driving the price up. I think that was completely unintentional on his part. But how funny would that have been if the
Not
Knicks had
funny.
hired
Not
Joe
funny at all.
Mazzulla from you?
0%
Memes that would have been
funny.
pretty funny, huh?
That would have been incredible.
Yeah, you tried. And now the Celtics are firing back because the Celtics had Thibodeau at practice this summer working with the team on defense doing like film breakdowns.
I think it was like this week.
It was this week?
I think it was yesterday.
They were doing film breakdowns. I know the story came out yesterday, but he was doing defensive coach, like actually coaching the Celtics.
He went through the film of the Eastern, like the playoff series,
Yeah.
and broke down how
they won.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah.
I
He
think
loves ball so much.
Yeah.
He's got to be around ball.
they probably just asked him if he like wanted to show up and watch a practice, just like, be around other coaches. And he probably came prepared with like film and notes
Definitely.
and like a PowerPoint that he would show each player. So yeah, this is good for the rivalry, good for the sport.
That is good for the sport. Great for the sport.
You say Mazzola said he would take Jason Brown down to the death.
He would take Jason.
They said who would win in a fight.
Yeah.
And
Jaylen
Jaylen
Brown?
Brown was like, I would win in a fight. Missoula said, I would win in a fight. And Missoula said, like, if I'm going to death, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. But like right now with the Achilles and everything, yeah, I got Missoula.
That was Jaylen Brown.
Oh, Jaylen Brown. Oh, that one, I think it would be a double kill.
I think I'd take Missoula still. Just 'cause
Yeah.
He's the type of guy who
Take
just,
Missoula over anyone.
he wants to be in a fight.
Yeah. And wrestling. Guys that can wrestle can.
Missoula versus Harbaugh.
Missoula. Harbaugh's fucking old
Missoula versus Dan Campbell.
as shit. Missoula.
No, Dan Campbell.
Oh, come on.
Missoula is like the type of guy to know like your pressure points.
Dan Campbell-
And like tap you in a place that you don't
No.
even know hurts, and
All
then
right.
you're just dead.
Now you're getting
Dan
crazy.
Campbell would, yeah, I
Come
think
on.
he'd
bite his
smash him.
kneecaps. Literally.
Missoula.
Okay. My hot seats, I have two. I got to remember what my second one was. Oh,
LeBron?
first one. Did you want to talk about LeBron?
Did
Russell
you see
Westbrook?
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Hilarious. I thought it was
What was the exact quote?
I thought it was NBA Sentinel.
I did too, and then I saw
literally
it
thought
on
was
The
NBA
Athletic.
Sentinel. Yeah.
Russell Westbrook said that he was
I
sick
can't
of
deal with
LeBron's
this fake shit.
His fake shit.
Did you see the Will Smith? Like they had Will Smith come in, and well, it was like they were doing a team meeting. LeBron and Anthony Davis got out and left. They got up and left. Russell Westbrook went to leave. Pat Bev was like, "You got to stay." Like those guys won a championship. You didn't. Like you got to stay. Then they started fighting.
Pat Bev and Russ.
Yeah, about that. They started fighting. Ham came back with Anthony Davis and LeBron. Then Will Smith came in to do like some type of speech.
The actor.
The actor. Supposed to be 30-minute Q&A. LeBron asked question after question after question after question, and it went on for like an hour.
So he just had a conversation with Will Smith in front of everyone.
And Russell Westbrook was fed up. There's a hilarious picture of the team with Will Smith after Russell Westbrook is not smiling at all. And that's when he was like, I can't do this fake shit.
I hate that fake shit. I just can't do it.
LeBron did a
Very funny report.
He did a podcast with Will Smith in the locker room in front of all his teammates.
Yeah. It was like, let's do a Q&A, everyone. And then it was just LeBron, like, question, LeBron, question, LeBron, question. And like, I guess he was just like doing like movie quotes and shit.
He's like looking around the room. Wait, no other questions? Well, if you guys aren't going to take advantage of this great opportunity, I'm going to.
That is so funny.
I think LeBron might be a Scientologist.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I think he might be so deep into Hollywood right now that he's getting his thetans checked or whatever. He's ascending to the 9th level.
You sound like you've been sitting next to Jerry for a little bit.
No, Scientology. Scientology's a real thing, man.
It is.
Yeah.
Let Russ be Russ. I love Russ. His stock is all the way up.
I heard Pat Bev was like, Russ, you haven't won a championship. You do not deserve to fly first class. And then Russ flipped out on him and just went nuclear.
Yeah. Fuck that. I'm on the first class list.
Wrote a blog about him and everything.
Foreplay's on it. I'm on it. Okay, my hot seat. One is, I'll keep this brief, Wisconsin football, just because they're the worst team in college football, Power 4 college football. It's an absolute joke what's happened to
Like
the
statistically
program.
or just
They haven't scored a touchdown in two games. We're losing in completely non-competitive ways. We do have the hardest schedule in the country.
What was that net graph you tweeted? I was trying to understand that. I couldn't
There's
really wrap my
a
head around
graph.
it. It was like worst.
Can't
net
remember
loss.
who tweets it. If you can find it, Max. It's did we get beat as bad as it says? And this guy, I want to shout him out, tweets it every single week. Where essentially, did you actually deserve to lose, or was it really, really close and the ball bounced, against you and you didn't end up? Here it is. Parker Fleming, Stats of War, great account. Did we really get beat that bad? Net success rates in Week 8. See, all the way to the right,
Yep.
Ohio State beat the fuck out of the Badgers.
Ohio State's a great team.
But the AD came out, Chris McIntosh came out and essentially said, we're not going to change course. We're just going to try to throw more money at it. The money is probably what the NCAA is giving every school. They're giving every school $20 million in the Power 4 next year. So they were going to spend it anyway. They're going to pretend that this is new money. The culture's broken. The program's broken. Football matters to universities more than people want to admit. I think that if you have a school, a Big Ten school, an SEC school, where your football program dies, you are going to lose admissions, you're going to lose money, donors, pride in the school. So that's why the chancellor needs to wake the fuck up. Chris McIntosh, Luke Fickell, I know both the guys. They're nice guys. I'm not going to say anything mean about them. They both are wrong for the job right now. And to the sunk cost fallacy of essentially saying, we made a mistake, we're on a bad path, let's throw more money at it, will get us deeper into a hole. And I'm starting to think now they're going to be bad for 5 to 7 years minimum. And if they just keep going down this path, it's going to be a decade.
Do you think that they're going to spend more money, or do you think that, do you have any knowledge that they're just taking the new money that's coming in?
I don't. I think they might try to spend more money, but again, it's sunk cost fallacy where the new money is not going to fix the culture, which is broken. Luke Fickell, I thought, was a great hire at the time. It has been a disaster. I still think he could be a good coach somewhere else, not at Wisconsin. You have to look in the mirror and say, this is not working. We need to clean house. Who's going to look in the mirror? I don't know. Hopefully the chancellor does, but clean house, because it's very stupid and it's frustrating and I'm very depressed about it.
Neutral field game, Wisconsin versus UNC.
UNC.
You think UNC?
Dude,
Wisconsin JMU.
that's JMU easy. JMU's
Battle
good.
of Madison.
They're so bad. They haven't scored in 2 weeks. They don't score. They don't have anything. They look like they're getting punked everywhere. I feel bad for the guys on the team because they're not being put in a good spot. And now you're basically saying, hey, we're going to just keep doing it. They have played a very, very hard schedule. We have Oregon, who's wearing the coolest jerseys.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least that game will be vibey.
Look at this. We've scored 20 points in the last 4 weeks.
Do you guys
Two touchdowns.
Do you guys do sad jump around?
Yeah.
Like if you're getting your ass kicked?
Dude, I have friends who went to the game, the Iowa game. They said it was so depressing. It's just an absolute disaster. And, the only thing you could say about Luke Fickell, I will say the one thing that he has gotten a little screwed at, he has had just the worst luck with QB injuries. Every year our QB gets injured. But still, you're getting paid a lot of money to build a roster, to build a culture.
Have you thought about
guys aren't getting better?
Let's just say, and we, never talking about another man's job. Fickell might not be the best fit there right now. I don't know if they're actually going to stay with him. It seems like he's probably going to be gone, no matter what they'll say right now about the guy. But who would you want next?
Jason Eck, Badger, New Mexico head coach.
No James Franklin?
Culture. I don't think James Franklin would take the job. I would take James Franklin. Jimmy Leonard as well, although that will not happen if Max still has a job. The other part I think they're doing with the sunk cost fallacy is Florida's open, Penn State's open, Auburn's probably going to be open. There's a lot of premier jobs that are open. Ole Miss, if Lane goes to Florida.
Arkansas.
So they're saying we don't want to compete against that. Guess what? You don't compete against that. The program's bottomed out. You have to look in the mirror and say, who are we as a program? We are not even a guy who's going for the Penn State job is not going for the Wisconsin job anymore. I mean, it was the gap was smaller 10 years ago, but it still was always going to be Penn State. So have some fucking self-awareness and realize where you're at and that it's a disaster. I liken it to the Titanic. They're basically playing the AD releasing that statement yesterday was essentially just taking a violin out as the ship goes down.
I think those guys get a bad rap, though. Shout out to the band members of the Titanic. They knew they were going to die.
Yeah,
they still just want to put a little bit of joy in people's lives at the very end. Good for them.
My other hot seat is is guys, because I saw this the other day. It was the top 5 least attractive male hobbies.
Okay.
And this is bullshit, but 1 is playing video games.
Okay.
Sorry, Zach. 2 is collecting figurines. 3 is crypto. 4 is online trolling. 5 is gambling. Those are the 5 funnest things to do.
Online trolling's got to be number 1.
It says playing video games, dude.
You think online trolling, like, how did
memes just got his entire life taken down.
it's only
Don't get
online
into
trolling
crypto
if
meme.
you're trolling people that the girl doesn't like, though. If you're trolling people, or if you're trolling somebody that the girl likes. If you're trolling somebody that the girl doesn't like, they're like, good for you.
I think there might be some women who, if they found out their boyfriend had a burner account and was probably tweeting mean things about her, being like, she just showed up, ruined the whole vibe.
That would be bad.
That would probably be,
That'd be bad.
Online trolling. That's where my mind went.
Guys can't have hobbies, though.
They can't have hobbies. My cool throne is Stella Blue coffee. I have it right in front of me. I have the espresso sweet cream. I also have the espresso cafe mocha, because Thursday, get ready, we are finally going to have some cans that are going to be available for purchase, ready to drink. So that's a little teaser. We'll have everything. Just be ready on Thursday. Be ready. They're very, very good.
Very good.
They're very, very good. And my other cool throne is RG3, because I know it's not takey season, but we can just mark this down. We probably have the winner for take of the year.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely up there.
This is RG3.
I mean,
August.
Skip Bayless saying that Travis Hunter should have gotten baptized.
I don't know. This one is
a strong one.
Double whammy. August 19th, RG3 said, I'm convinced that the Indianapolis Colts are trying to tank for Arch Manning. Double whammy. Shitting on Daniel Jones, propping up Arch Manning. You've been so wrong both directions.
That is pretty bad. He also said, like, hey, it's a disservice to Jaden Daniels to keep comparing him to me, when that's literally all he did last year.
Yes.
Was make that. Listen, RG3, he chases takes.
He gets takes
and that's
off.
okay.
He gets takes off. Zach, hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat this week is going to be Amazon Web Services. I believe that we gave Bezos too much of the cloud.
Yeah.
We should break up this weather system. Somehow one mistake over at AWS leads to just half the internet imploding. Lives being...
Let me ask you a question. I'm not familiar with AWS. Does it take down your finger to press the button?
I think you could spend hours attempting to press a button into an abyss, because the cloud that you entrusted to back the button has withered away.
Yeah.
This is a great take by
I
Zach.
thought AWS was award-winning silence because there were no podcasts up.
Ah, good point.
There
DFT.
was a podcast up.
No, it wasn't.
It got up. It's up. It's up right now.
It was up late.
We should break up this cloud into smaller clouds. This storm system is too big.
I do feel bad for Max. I'm busting his balls. He got absolutely screwed on Sunday night. Do you
Yeah.
want to tell us what happened on Sunday night?
Yeah, it was tough. Football nights are tough. Are late nights. We've talked about this a lot. 2:45, finish up. It's a great feeling. You're like, all right, all you got to do, upload this, and then go to bed and wake up and have your Monday. I go into our back end, and it's just glitching out like crazy. Like different alerts are getting hit at me. There's like different question marks everywhere. I've never seen anything like it. I think it's like
You're not ready for that.
no.
Your brain is not ready for question marks and alerts.
Like where there should be Barstool logos, it was just like question marks, and that's a bad sign to be for anything. So then I think it's like, oh fuck our own system. This is bullshit. No one's awake to help me right now. The Barstool system is just fucked. I tweet something out from the PMT account being like, we're working to fix this. I wasn't working on shit. I couldn't have done anything.
It is crazy when Amazon goes down. Like almost the entire internet goes down.
Yeah, and then everyone was just replying to my tweet being like, we're working on this, and then everyone was like, it's the entire internet. What the fuck are you gonna do? And I was like, good point. I'm not gonna do anything. So then I just stayed up for the next like 5.5 hours just refreshing our back end, seeing if it would just like magically start working again. And then like at one point I just couldn't keep my eyes open. So I just kept setting 20-minute alarms. So I would fall asleep, wake up 20 minutes later, check my phone, see if anyone was awake or if it magically started working. So it would be 20 minutes, sleep, refresh, check my email, nothing. 20 minutes, refresh, check my email, nothing. Until 7 a.m. Central Time. Big Cat, I actually didn't even wake up to the alarm. I woke up to Big Cat calling me, him just being like, "Pete said we're good to go," and then we were good to go.
Yeah, because Pete, I saw it. I'm usually the first up. I saw it. It called Pete right away, and Pete said it just came back. I can't get in touch with Max. So I was like, I'll call him. So you were in your 20-minute phase.
Yeah, I was in my
20-minute nap window.
My 20-minute nap window. Because there's one thing like staying awake when like you're working on something.
Yeah.
It's another. I was just sitting there with there was nothing I could do.
That's so frustrating.
Until somebody else could wake up or until Amazon could just start working again.
Mm-hmm. So sorry to the AWLs, but it was not Max's fault.
Probably every other podcast had this too, right?
That's a Barstool thing. That is not a me thing.
That was my first question. I was like, why is every other podcast? But that still, the podcast. This is also a good reason to subscribe to the YouTube. YouTube was up, but we apologize. It was not a Max forgetting to press the button. We were getting AWS attacked. The cloud.
Mm-hmm. They don't want you to listen to this podcast.
The cloud fucked us.
Cloud fucked us hard.
And my sleep schedule. Diet's going to be bad again this week. I'm saying.
That's fine. It's AWS. Fuck you, AWS. You made Max fat this week.
Yeah.
It's not fair. Max made his nachos, by the way. Great job.
They were awesome nachos.
They were really good nachos.
Good nachos.
Put a
Good
smile
nachos.
on my face.
We're going to have to think of something else for this.
Yeah.
Bring back Max's Deli.
Oh, Max's Deli? Max's Rib House?
That might be a little too daunting.
Yeah.
Max's Lasagna Castle?
I could probably figure out. Make a
Max's Meatballs.
Max's Meatballs would be awesome.
Meatballs would be good. Meatballs would be good.
Yep. Okay, good hot seat. Cool Throne?
My cool throne this week is Baker Mayfield. There's a lot of narratives out this morning saying Baker Mayfield did this, Baker Mayfield did that, saying he had a bad game. I just want to go on record and say the rational side of the internet and sports fans understand that this is an Inflategate situation. Those balls were getting thrown high for a reason, and I think it might be helium-based.
Oh.
They're out to get your boy.
Okay.
I think they are. I think it might be a smear campaign. I think a backroom, equipment room, the job might have went down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Baker should rest assured that when he's back on the field playing with regulation equipment, that those balls are going into hands and not into seats.
I think this is going to be good for Baker in the long term because now he just gets a whole bunch of people talking shit about him.
Facts.
And so that's adding some. They were being too nice to Baker.
What when you were watching the game, at what point were you saying to yourself, "Ooh, this is a problem"?
First quarter didn't feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a lot of Amon-Ra talk recently on the podcast, and I was like, of course, he decides to just break it off in us early on the Bucs. I mean, he's hitting spin moves that you see in video games, and then Gibbs is too fast. It seems like he would just break once a drive. But then when we got that turnover and the field goal before half, I was like, this is a little bit of a momentum switch.
This is Baker time.
We're back in it. Yeah,
Yep.
Let's do it. It's showtime. And then the game just never opened up. Like, it felt like it wanted to burst. And and then that touchdowns were just going to be hitting both sides. Like, let's do it. Let's have a game. And we never had a game.
Never had a game.
Oh, you have one person. There's one single tweet that backs you. This is from Christopher. He said, "This is Inflategate. The balls got helium in them. Every single Baker Mayfield throw is 5 yards over his receiver's head."
Christopher has accurate information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he has no responses, no likes on this tweet.
187
Shout out
views.
Christopher.
He's getting suppressed.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, the algorithm.
You're right. Not followed by anyone we know.
Bezos.
That's just
Bezos got
Christopher
him.
out there. Shout out Chris Sun 21.
Also, the refs pandering to the home crowd, pretty much doing crowd work. Like,
Yeah.
we'll just...
Hussey.
Yeah, Hussey was crazy last night. And guess what, Dan? We're going to give you your challenge back. Give it up for Dan, everybody.
Yeah, what's that inflection? Why are you so almost
Next-
excited to
Yeah.
give these things back?
Yeah, next up, we got Jared. Jared to the stage.
And then he felt a certain type of way about it. He felt good about the challenges. And he's like, I'll do it again.
Yeah,
He
I'll
was challenging
do-
like the spot, like,
Hey, Dan, have this.
I didn't like it.
You didn't ask for it, but I'm giving it to you. Yeah.
You get a timeout back.
Look at this man work. Penny Sewell. Penny Sewell on the pole.
Okay, let's get to our interview with our good friend, recurring guest, and colleague, Ryen Russillo.
Before we get to Ryen Russillo, he's brought to you by Hey Dude. What better way to kick off football season than with the official shoe of tailgating? Hey Dude is the only option when you're planning your game day fit. It's easy to slip on, It's got laid-back style, all-day comfort. They hooked us up with a bunch of new pairs. We're going to be wearing them all weekend long. Hey Dude is offering a special offer to get you ready for the season. For a limited time, go to heydude.com/barstool and use code PMT20. Get 20% off the Hey Dude Barstool collection. That's code PMT20. 20% off all our favorite styles. Order yours today. Experience comfort all season long. Whether you're in the parking lot before the game or locked in a red zone from the couch, make sure you're ready for football season with Hey Dude. Russillo is also brought to you by Jose Cuervo Devil's Reserve, a sweet, tropical, spicy infused tequila like a spicy marg in a bottle. It's smooth and delicious. Devil's Reserve is the perfect drink for when mischief is on the menu. Available in multiple sizes, including 50-milliliter shooters, perfect to bring to your tailgate. It's time to listen to the little devil on your shoulder. Pour a round of shots. Get ready to raise a little hell. Go to your local liquor store or go to Cuervo.com. Purchase your own bottle of Devil's Reserve and raise a little hell this football season. Please drink responsibly. Zach, what do we say about Jose Cuervo?
We don't care what these hoes say.
There you go. All right, and now here's Ryen Russillo.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very special guest and dear friend and now colleague. It is Ryen Russillo from the Ryen Russillo podcast. Go subscribe, please. All AWLs, go subscribe to the new feed that he has on iTunes, on Spotify, on YouTube. Go subscribe. Ryen, great to see you. Colleagues now. Your first episode out November 3rd. How many takes are you kind of like, do the takes build up in your head? Have you been calling people for hours on end trying to get the takes off with a few week break here?
Yeah, real just take hoarding. And obviously because it's new, I really have to let it fly now. Mm-hmm. So you know me, I'm going to try to come up with a bunch of things to get attention. Maybe expanding the college football playoff to 64 teams is going to be one. Is baseball America's pastime again, which nice run. Last night was a lot of fun. I walked into a bar in Canada right as they were down 3-1 to grab some food. And the place, she's like, "You here for the Jays game?" And I was like, "I am now." Springer Yard. By the way, Springer, it doesn't happen without Hartford. Hartford has it.
Yeah.
New England's rising star. It just continues to deliver in ways that I wish people would account for a little bit more. Uh-huh. And then I was watching Sportsnet, so it was like tragically hip into the break. Place is going wild. And I was really happy for the Blue Jays. I love all Toronto fans except for Raptors fans, as we know.
Yeah. So have you had any takes over the last few weeks that you would have put out that would have then become freezing cold takes later that you can call yourself out on?
No, that's a really good question.
Good question.
Thank you.
PFT, you guys are good.
Thank you. Like, hey, what's your dumbest thought been since you've been off a podcast, Mike, that you're like, I'm really glad I didn't have to do a podcast after that?
Mm-hmm.
Probably that LSU is still talented enough to hang with anybody.
Yeah. Yikes.
Let's figure out this offense.
As you pointed out, they lost a tackle on the road.
Yeah.
They did. Tough environment. That's what I think is the best part about playoff expansion is just the excuses that are just completely irrelevant prior to having 12 teams. You're like, dude, it's over. It's done. Mm-hmm. So there's certainly an argument to be said for like still being alive. LSU's not still alive. I'm kind of kidding around. I think once the South Carolina game, I'm like, this is a very talented, not great team. But the offensive line is a huge issue. But yeah, I was trying to get it out there. I think the thing that I'm always really impressed with is the self-importance of some of us, where it's like, if I can just get this messaging out there, there might be someone in the committee that sees this tweet. And then when this team is being debated, they're going to reference this tweet from mid-October and go, Vandy is a little bit more lively. I went to a Vandy Mizzou game once, and it was people were apologizing ahead of time. They're like, just so you know, it's a little different than other SEC stops, but it looks like it's back or new.
Well, yeah, the stadium construction is finally finished. Vandy and Mizzou are the two teams that I feel like have been under construction stadium-wise for about 15 years.
Kansas, too.
Kansas as well.
Yeah, Kansas is.
But Mizzou
they're still not done.
Mizzou would just someone would be lining up for a field goal, and be like, okay, so they're just kicking into someone's backhoe. Like, what is going on here? And that happened for a decade.
Yeah, because it was a pile of rocks forever, right? And then it might be smart for recruiting. just always have construction going on
Yeah.
into the stadium. I'd be like, and when you get here, I remember when we took the tour in college at UVM, and they were like, and we're going to get cable in the dorm soon, which we never did. And then the older guys are like, they said the same thing at our tour as well. So, yeah, that might be something. Just be under construction the entire time, because you want to make a decision, whether it's in your professional life, personal life, or like, is there room for growth?
Yeah, that's what they do at Country Club. It's like, the clubhouse, we're doing a complete renovation on it right now, and it's going to be done next spring, just in time for the season. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll sign up. That's awesome. State-of-the-art facilities.
Yeah, that's why your dues are a little bit more. We had to bump them up this year.
Yeah,
But
new
guess
guys
what?
are
It'll
going to
pay
get
for
hit a
itself.
little bit harder.
Yeah.
Track again everywhere. We're getting those installed. Then you're out on the driving range a year later, being like, where is? Like, no, you're supposed to bring a rangefinder.
Yeah.
Okay, so the new podcast feed, same old. People are going to say, oh, what's Ryan doing? Same show. You have Cerruti and nephew Kyle are with you. Sorry, Kyle are with you. And everyone should expect it's the same show. I know that people, when the news was announced, were like, oh, he's going to change. He's going to start guessing that ass every day.
I feel like
he and Nikki Smokes are going to be doing blow at the bar. You're doing the same show, and you're in California, and pretty much nothing is changing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The last week has been a bit of a reminder. When I left ESPN and went to Ringer and then Spotify, it was like the second I started putting out content, it's like, here we go. Now that he's not at ESPN anymore. I'm like, I'm literally the exact same person. And so it was a nice little reminder 7 years later that it's happening all over again. Like, you say one nice thing about Sabrina Carpenter, and it's like, oh, he fits in perfect with Portnoy.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Ryan leaves the Ringer, all of a sudden he likes girls.
Yeah. Well, also, that's a double whammy, because Dave does have in our contract, we have to tweet about the WNBA at least once a week.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. Mine are going to be mostly stat stuff.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Some borp.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought Sabrina Carpenter was awesome in that podcast sketch, and I think as podcasters, I think we even have a greater appreciation for it. So you try to compliment her, and then it's like, oh, here we go. And the funnier thing is, like, I gave out a couple picks to fulfill my contract, and it was like, oh, now he's giving out picks. And you're like, dude, I've been giving out these mid-ass picks for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, oh, now he's saying mid, though.
Oh, true.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, you're on.
That's sketchy by you.
Yeah. Have you had a conversation with the boys about the podcast feed? Because there's been some podcast feed issues over here.
No, I'm of all the stuff that I've observed, I can't wait to not be involved in all of it.
Well,
I don't know if there's a first class flight issue. I don't really go that many places, so I'm out of that. The feed issue is a big reason why, like, when you go to market, and luckily you guys never really have to, because you're so powerful. But when you start walking into these meetings and it's like, where's your feed? And you're like, I don't have my feed. It's massive. It's a massive, massive difference. So luckily this time around, any new place that I was talking to was like, okay, we can figure out a way to get you your feed after a certain amount of time. So I don't know if that's what you were asking. But
no, I was just basically busting Max's balls. It's the first time Max has ever missed a feed. Was on Monday morning with the show coming out a little bit late. But your guys are on top of it.
It also...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you were talking about.
Everyone do subscribe to it. It was also a nice welcome to Barstool moment. I texted you right after, Ryan, but you announced your new feed where everyone could subscribe, and then it quickly became a Dave Portnoy versus Jared Carrabis fight, and that was trending. That was great. That was great. It was like somewhere under like 15 of these quote tweets is Ryan's new feed. We just got to find it.
It was good. It was almost like it was done on purpose. It was like, let's get a little controversy going here. But yeah, back to the original point. And to me, it's the exact same show. It's 3 days a week. We may change up some of the release times a little bit because maybe some of those later Friday ones that were coming out kind of late, like especially if it's hitting the East Coast at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, isn't the optimum time to drop new stuff. But yeah, probably a little bit more active on a couple other things. But I've been doing this a long time. I don't know. If anything, it'd be like exhausting to try to be somebody different.
Yeah. Now, are you gonna start covering and watching the NFL?
Ooh.
I know you guys love the NFL.
Love the NFL. Yeah, Ryan always hits us up at 1 p.m. on Sundays, just checking in, wanting to chat. Can't chat then, Ryan.
Still
Games
so
are
mad
on.
I fell for it.
Yeah, it's totally backfired though. I don't know. Did Hank tell you what happened? Because I was going to be my little thing with you guys, but I couldn't do it every week, right? I had to try to like sneak him in. So right at kickoff week 1, I call Big Cat and he answers. And I was just like, what are you up to, man?
Yeah.
And then he's like, God damn it, I can't believe I answered this, like you dick. And then he just hung up on me. So then I gave it a couple weeks and I randomly call Hank. And Hank's like, hello, which has happened maybe twice ever that I've called Hank. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I missed my flight driving to Pittsburgh. And then I was like, well, God, shit. I was like, this isn't really working. And I think I said something like, hey, are you like seeing anybody or anything? Like, no. He's like, no. And I was like, man, this whole thing, I was like, it didn't work. I was like, this is what I was trying to do. And he was just like, yeah, okay, cool. So he kind of got me because, I mean, his mind was elsewhere. And he wasn't where he was supposed to be. And he was so miserable because I've had to do that like weird Pittsburgh, how can I get a flight out of here thing. And then I think I tried it with PFT once and it was like a DM.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to try it anymore.
You sent me a DM one time and then I don't think I replied to it for like 4 days. And it was like, yeah, this probably, I don't know if this bit's paying off for you, but it's a good bit.
It's good. Keep going.
Yeah.
Go through the wall. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk some college football. So let's start with your LSU Tigers and the fact that Brian Kelly feels like he might be on the hot seat. Have you, because you actually are plugged in with some people there, LSU, they're not going to go to the playoff this year.
Doesn't feel like it.
What are they going to do? What's the future? Is Brian Kelly going to get another year? I heard that he went on vacation in the bye week. It just never felt like a good fit, and it's just proving to be not a great fit.
Okay, but I think one of the problems with like fit, especially when it's in the South, it's like, oh, you have to be a Southern person. And then it's like, we always kind of default to this like, oh, he's like this great cultural fit. Like, I still don't think people, like a lot of people realize like Saban isn't from Alabama.
No.
Even like Mac Brown in Texas, he's winning. He's like, oh, he's a perfect fit for that Texas culture. It's like, yeah, but it's like, we kind of fall for this. So in the South, I feel like it's even harder when you don't feel Southern or you don't have connections to the high schools organically. But Kelly's track record was incredible. So the fact that they would want to back up the bus for him and pay him a ton of money, I never really had an issue with. And whenever I look at the fan bases, they get really, really mad about, whether it's like, I know that it's not been to the standard because the only standard at LSU is winning a national championship, but it's not like they're terrible. I think this year it's disappointing, and you're continuing to see an offense. It's like it doesn't make any sense with Nussmeier and the fact they can't run the football again this year. All of these numbers, they're pretty alarming. But whenever a team that's at that level decides like, okay, like get rid of this guy, the first thing I always like A&M should be thrilled right now, but A&M was kind of like Elko.
Yeah.
Like that's the best we can do. And look, they've been terrific this year, but in that moment, the number of fan bases that they want the guy out and then they see the available replacements, they're almost always disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Penn State's throwing around names right now. It's like, why would any of these people go there that are currently this happy with where they're at? So it ends up always being kind of disappointing. So I think Kelly deserves another year. But it really, sometimes those spots are just so intense that you can admit like the coach will go, I'm not going to be miserable if I don't have to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, the fit wasn't like he's not a Southerner. It was more that he's incredibly unlikable, and that will immediately speed up his timeline by a year because he's just a dick.
Yeah, but it has everything to do with wins and losses.
Yeah, of course.
Like, no one would care about any of this Belichick stuff if they were showing any kind of signs of improvement at UNC, which would be the funniest thing of people having to like justify it, but considering they're also not very good. Mm-hmm. Like you can't get over the content. I can't believe that story. I can't believe the leaked video that Pablo had, and then her describing like, "Hey, is end zone redundant?"
Yeah, yeah. Should that be red zone?
We were saying that video. The winner of that entire video is Matt Patricia, the most patient man in the world, and just sitting there being like, "Listen, my buddy's happy. I'm not gonna do. I can't say anything."
Also, Matt Patricia, the fact that he very easily could have ended up at UNC this year. And instead, he's at Ohio State coaching the best defense in the country, probably having a great time, probably really enjoying himself. Big winner in that split up.
She's going to be running a company, though. Like, that confidence is undeniable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously, she's got some years to go here. But to sit next to Belichick and another coach like Patricia and then explain, like, hey, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah, actually, it kind of does make sense. But if they were 5-2, like, think about it. Now, granted, UNC is, like, not on that level. But imagine if this were at Auburn.
Yeah.
And they were 5-2, and then Auburn fans would be like, "It's totally fine. What are you talking about? Like, this is great, massive turnaround, tons of energy. You should see the quad." Like, we really only care. Like, you know, Kelly, I get it. He's tough. He's really tough, and he kind of put his foot in his mouth with the way he went after that reporter about the offense. And I could also kind of understand, like, hey, we just won a game, and like the first thing you're going to do is talk about the offense here. But it's a lingering issue for a team that felt like it was loaded. But I don't know. I mean, after that Vandy game, but we saw it coming. Saw it coming in.
Yeah. So real quick, we touched on Ohio State there. They are the best team in the country. Are you ready? We've been doing this for about a month now. Are you ready to say this team is better than last year's team?
Wow. Yeah, I think Sayan's even better. He just, you know, they don't even need him. Like, that's the thing that's wild about it. Like, I was looking at the 3rd and long, like anything 3rd and 4 or longer, those numbers. Like, nobody converts anything against this defense. And you'd think, like, losing Knowles and then losing Chip Kelly, you bring in 2 new coordinators, you have Sayan, you're like, okay, is this going to be as seamless a transition? And it is. Now, I caution all of us that fall into this trap all the time of, like, that 6 or 7 game stretch where we were doing it before Oregon lost to Indiana, where it's like, okay, it feels like there's 3 teams and then there's a gap. It's like, okay, yep, but 2 of those teams lost. And the Indiana win at Oregon, I think, is the single best win of the entire college football season. And I also think Oregon's getting dropped down too far in the polls after the fact, because I think Indiana really is that good this year. So now to look at Ohio State as like this unbeatable team, their record and their stats are going to say that. And yeah, it feels like it's them and everybody else right now. But I feel like we make this mistake every single year when we're talking about whatever the gap is between how many teams can like win a title versus like who the actual favorite is. So I, like everybody else, you've watched Ohio State, what they did to Washington's offense, just humiliating Minnesota. Like, that was the night game. And they're coming out of a tunnel, and you're like, all right, here we go. Like some Big Ten action. You're like, this is humiliating.
Yeah.
And the rest of their schedule isn't really going to be that challenging for them. So this should be pretty easy.
It just feels like they are a step above everyone else. But I know you don't love the 12-team playoff. We've debated it ad nauseum. It does feel like there's some good parity in that next grouping, Indiana being at the top of it, but Indiana, Oregon, Texas A&M. Notre Dame is good. I know people wrote them off after the first 2 games. They've kind of figured out their defense. I like CJ Carr. Who in that next groupings would you say you're highest on, and to be like that's the team that will maybe take down Ohio State? Miami.
Miami, they get the terrible Beck game, which is it's more normal to be a really good team to look absolutely terrible one of these 12 games.
Yeah.
I feel like, remember before Clemson won titles, and, Van Pelt and I had argued about it or whatever, but like he did a whole thing on Clemsoning, which is a very like ACC thing. And it's like, oh, Clemson's going to get off to this big start. And then my whole point was, do you know how many different programs around the country that get off to a good start that have these high expectations, end up losing late in the season? It's like, oh, we did it again. It's like, no, that's actually normal. Like, that's normal, Oklahoma. That's normal, Miami. And granted, Miami blowing that game to Syracuse is probably not normal considering what was at stake last season. But I expect that to happen. It's very rare that we have any of these teams that are going to go clean throughout the entire season. And now you're asking them to win even more games to get through this expanded playoff. Like, that's a ridiculous ask to go, you can't lose any of these games, or maybe you can lose one and win in the national championship game. And then, of course, you have Ohio State losing 2 and then still looking clearly like the best team last year. But normally, like a lot of years, I wouldn't call it bias. I just think the SEC conversation was really stupid for a bunch of years. Now other teams have won titles. And I think the argument could be, okay, well, if it's only about winning titles, then why were all these people in the SEC was winning all these titles still arguing that it wasn't the best conference? And now that the Big Ten has won back-to-back titles, the thing that you argued against, you're using as your main talking point to talk about a shift in the conferences. I don't think there's any question the SEC is deeper than all these other conferences. I mean, sometimes when I go through it and you're like, Texas is 10th. I think that was what it was before this last weekend. I don't really love any of these SEC teams this year as real title contenders. Maybe it's Alabama.
Ty Simpson's awesome.
He's awesome. He's a baller. The 2 4th-down throws against Mizzou. They're now 4 wide receivers deep. I think Hill, the 240-pound back that we saw in the Tennessee game. And look, that was a really good game. I think Tennessee's pretty good, but you get a pick 6 at the end. It's a massive, at the very least, 10-point swing, maybe a 14-point swing. So their defense looks like it's getting a little bit better. Earlier in the season, you looked at Bama's D and you're like, where are the dudes? Where are the 2 guys that just destroy the other team's offense coming off the edge? And there were some rushing attempt numbers against them that were pretty alarming, like Georgia ran at 7 yards per carry. And then they go and face Mizzou, who's got Hardy, who's the number 1 running back in the country at that point, and they shut them down. So I think they're growing, and the Simpson to receiver group is my favorite probably collection of if there's one thing to point to, whether it's a front or a secondary or, sometimes I don't know that we talk about running backs enough anymore, but Simpson and those receivers is something I like better than anything that A&M has, better than anything Ole Miss has. I mean, Ole Miss has been kind of a weird team this year. I think they're kind of in that Tennessee group, yeah, they're good, but I don't think they're as good as Indiana or Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know that I think Alabama is as good as those 2 teams. And A&M, for all the defensive numbers that they had prior to that Arkansas game, granted, Arkansas is kind of a weird, sneaky, can hang around for 3 hours.
Big time.
I'm not as high on Reed as I am as, say, a Simpson or maybe probably even Trinidad, although it looked like Trinidad kind of fell apart there in that Georgia game.
Or Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar Stockton looks bad. Gunnar Stockton has had 2 games now where it's not looked great, but in big moments at Tennessee and then Ole Miss this past weekend, he's kind of got that he's a dude in the moment feel to him where it's not great, it's not perfect. They could probably, if they get in the playoff, they maybe get into deep waters that he can't get out of. But he has twice now impressed me in hey, your back's against the wall. You got to start making plays right now. Otherwise, your season's going to be fucked. And he's done it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I guess the biggest problem is that we're holding Georgia to the Georgia standard. And this Georgia team is not even close to those teams. The defense isn't as good. They don't run the ball consistently. And I think the Stockton 4th-down throw against Tennessee was okay, because I felt coming out of last year into this year, you're wait, you guys thought that guy was good
right
at the end of the year last year? He almost got decapitated and everybody kept oh man, this guy's got so much juice. It's yeah, that's awesome. He survived that play, but I don't know that I necessarily trust him. And you don't even have to listen to me. Herb Street's brought it up during broadcast. I don't know if he's done it on any podcast, but there's a tendency for him because he's such a good runner. He's a tough player. He's kind of a gamer that he's going to bail a little bit quicker. But that comeback against Ole Miss to put up that many points for an offense that you're do you trust this defense to get the other team to go 3 and out when you need it to? And it's the 4th quarter, the script entirely flipped. So Georgia's good, but they're incredibly one-dimensional. And yeah, maybe Stockton will make a couple plays, but over the course of 3 hours against another really good football team, I don't know that he'll be able to keep up with the other better quarterbacks.
Yeah. And to your point about Miami's loss that you made a second ago, Louisville on a Friday night, that's a tough matchup for anybody.
Jeff Braun.
That's got to be. I think Louisville on Friday nights they're the most dangerous team in America, and they have been for years. If you don't know about Louisville Friday nights, they play different. They play different there. So I'm not writing Miami off just yet, or anybody that loses to Louisville on a Friday night this year. I think that's something that you have to put in its own bag. Okay, weird things happen. Let's move on. And to your point about the SEC and the Big Ten, the answer to why Big Ten fans are now saying oh yeah, we beat the big bad SEC. They were just lying before when the SEC was clearly better.
We moved the goalposts.
They were just hey, ESPN is in the tank for the SEC. They're actually not that good. That was just cope. Yeah. And now that they are actually doing things and winning championships, now they can be yeah, we beat the big bad bully on the block. Now we're the big bad bully on the block. Yeah, just lying.
Hand up.
Yeah, I think a lot of it and what we saw was it just reminds me of politics. Like politics to me is when there's an NFL game, and you guys love the NFL, so you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, huge.
But when the official, turns on the mic, there's 80,000 people in the stadium, and the official's like, there's 2 penalties on the play. We're like, first is, illegal motion, offense, and then everybody goes crazy, right? Because their team is on defense. And then it's like offsides defense, and then everybody in the stadium boos. They're like, he just said there was 2 flags.
Mm-hmm.
He just said there were 2 flags, and you got so excited about the first one, and everybody knew that the second one was going to be on you, and yet you still cheered for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a perfect example of like how people argue with each other over politics all day long. It's like the thing that you can point to is a really good chance like your guy is going to do the exact same thing or some version of it in like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So what's the fucking point to any of this stuff? And what I think happened is that a lot of people didn't want to believe, because this is another thing, like no one actually wants to believe like, hey, what if I'm not good enough? What if that person is better than me? You're just going to make excuses. So instead of saying like the SEC won 7 straight titles with 4 different teams, and before the Big Ten expanded, like to go through that exercise with the Big Ten, it was like, give me the 4 teams that could win a national championship over a 7-year period. And it's like, it was a really hard thing to do. Now, look, you bring in Oregon, you bring in SC, Washington plays in a national championship game. They were in the playoff. Then there's also UCLA. So it's an easier argument to be made now, but it felt like instead of just admitting it, that it was happening, that it was just a collective agreement from the rest of the country that it has to all be propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
So to fight that propaganda, I think what we have now is like, no, this is what you're supposed to do. Michigan wins 1, Ohio State wins 1. Okay, we're the best. And then we just keep hammering that messaging over and over again. It's like people got so mad about an advertisement catchphrase of it just means more that it was like, well, that's not true. Like, well, who's keeping track of whether or not that's true or not?
And it was true. That was true.
Yeah.
That part was legit. Yeah.
Because the other thing, it's kind of like the Jokic MVP vote. Like when I was going around talking to teams before I put my vote in, I would ask front offices and coaching staffs. I'd be like, look, I need help on the defensive guys. Are there people I'm missing? Is there somebody I'm not thinking about? Somebody that you think like we don't really understand? And then every team that I would talk to, and it's less than 20 and it's over 10, would say, hey, who are you voting for MVP? And I'd be like, I'm actually voting Jokic. And they're like, okay, good. Like every team, except for one team that was kind of like, hey, I think it's SGA's year. What the team did, 68 wins. He deserves the best player to be acknowledged. It's the same thing as anybody that's gone from one of the other conferences to the SEC. No one has ever said to me privately, not one has ever said, you know what, this place actually isn't as good as everybody says it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single person that goes in is like, okay, now, like I thought it was maybe a little overrated or a little stupid. So yeah, like I get all the propaganda accusations. I haven't worked at ESPN now for 6 years. I mean, if that's what it was with me, then I don't know why I would still be doing it because I'm not getting paid anymore. But like, you want to keep track of game days visits? Now do big noons.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like, that, did you see the Fox Sports stadium rankings that Bear and I talked about, who works on the show? They had Michigan number 1. So I think the funny thing is Fox gets believed that it was only an SEC ESPN thing, that Fox is like, you want to see some fucking messaging?
Yeah.
Well,
we got it.
Give us your top 5. What are your top 5 stadiums?
Well, it's LSU 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's this collection of SEC schools that when it's right, like when Tennessee's right, it is so much fun.
Yes.
I think the Swamp is in that conversation for when it's right. And it's just, I don't know, you've got this moisture all over you and you're like, this is brutal. Pound for pound, no one can hang with Autzen. What Oregon does with a lower number and I was there, when they were really starting to crank that thing up, and I'm standing on the sideline, the USC sideline. Remember when Barkley played there as a freshman, and you're standing on the USC sideline, and I remember Stanford Steve and I just looking at each other being like, how can this place be this loud? Like, how can it be this loud when they don't have 100,000 people in here? So I guess I would say LSU, Tennessee, Florida, Oregon, and if I have to pick a
This
Big
is
Ten,
so
like
biased.
I've been to 60 plus of these places, so
Can I throw a Big Ten at you? What was your fifth pick?
Well, I haven't been to Iowa.
That's what I was going to say. Kinnick is
haven't been
very sneaky underrated. I don't know how. I don't think if you built a stadium like that today, it would be allowed. But the front row at Kinnick, you're basically on the field. You're standing essentially like you could tap the players on the shoulder. That's how close it is.
Yeah, that's the same thing in like at Oregon at that point. Like I was turning around going, I can't, and then I was like, I think because normally you like to stand on the visiting team side just to be away from all the chaos, right? It's a little bit easier to move around. And that Oregon crowd, I was like, I don't want to be like part of the enemy here. Like,
yeah,
let's go over to the Oregon side because this doesn't even feel safe over here. So I haven't been to Kinnick. I've been to Ohio State. Ohio State's good. I don't think it's like, oh my God. I haven't been to Michigan. I've never heard one person ever discuss Michigan other than the Fox tweet, which again, you guys are kind of aligned with here. So I don't mean to put you guys in the crosshairs.
So are you.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
But I'm not on the show.
But you might be.
I think there'd be, there's no chance. Like one of my good friends who you met, Big Cat, he told me something years ago that I think is really, really important to remember. He's like, out of the 20 of us that are still very close, maybe 10 get together. He's like, half of them are actually rooting against you.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right. So I think everybody would sit there and like welcome me with open arms. So there's probably two people on the show that are like, this fucking guy's going to get all these reps.
You could
like,
just say Brandon. Yeah. Just say his name.
Brandon agrees with you about Iowa, by the way.
We should get. I mean, you do know college ball. So wait. So what's your Big Ten pick? Is it Happy Valley?
Yeah, it's Happy Valley because it is. It's awesome. But I always have like I think I've told this story before. There was always like a little annoyance when a Penn State staffer came up to me during a whiteout. He's like, best thing you've ever seen? I was like, no, it isn't. It isn't. And he was just like looking at me like, you asshole. And I went, it's unbelievable. Like, this is unbelievable. Being like one of the 5 best atmospheres in the sport is a really great accolade. And the guy was like, whatever. Like, was so mad about it in the way that you would be mad about it when you only know one thing.
Right.
And I was like, all right. And look, just honorable mention is Lubbock.
Yeah.
Halloween, beating number 1 Texas. I don't know what it's like week to week, but it's still my favorite sporting event that I've ever been to, and it was just so scary. I mean, it was like another portal. But I don't know. Like, are there any that I'm leaving off?
Wrigley Field, when they have Northwestern versus Iowa, is a pretty iconic location where they play in the outfield. Wrigley, where they play in the outfield grass, and sometimes they don't have enough grass for an end zone. That's a lot of fun.
Play only going one way.
I would say Lubbock is a good call because you take your life into your hand when you go into Lubbock. The tortillas flying everywhere could kill somebody.
Yeah,
open carry.
It also has it's got the open carry aspect, and also the fact that it's just so isolated. You're in the middle of nowhere, where you go and you're like, am I ever really going to be able to leave this place? It's intimidating.
Yeah, I liked Florida State. I went to Florida State.
I like Florida State a lot.
Yeah, and especially I think they've done a lot of renovations on the stadium. I'd like to see that. I thought Florida State was a very cool vibe, and I think if I remember correctly, walking in, they have some of those. It looks like the Coliseum a little bit. It's cool at night, especially.
Yeah, I think Florida State also has like an atmosphere when it's going right.
Yep.
That is pretty wild. Look, I think Wisconsin actually. I know, dude.
It's bad.
I know.
It's bad.
But I was there. Well, you were there, weren't you? There for the Terrell Pryor game when they were number 1 and they came.
Yeah,
in
2010. Yeah.
So I went to that game. That was incredible. Some people like Norman. Texas is better than it used to be, but I don't know that anybody ever brings it up as the best spot.
What about Kyle Field?
I've been to one game there, and it was awesome. I mean, you could pick like Athens is kind of great too.
Yeah.
On that Saturday afternoon as the sun is going down type of thing, and I just don't want to pick 6 or 7 SEC schools. But if you pick 10, I don't think you're top 4 because I think even the graphic had 4 Big Ten schools, and then 5th they were like, all right, we're going to put LSU somewhere here.
Yeah.
Wait, that just triggered a memory right there. I don't know if you saw, but speaking of Fox, we did the show out in Utah a couple weeks ago, and I got Rinaldi'd. Have you been Rinaldi'd?
Well, I mean, if you mean have an awesome time.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
I've
been
say-
Rinaldi a few times.
I say it in like all loving, but he breaks you down in like an incredibly fascinating way, and you're just sitting there like, what? Where are the cameras? I'm getting Rinaldi'd.
All-time Rinaldi. Went with a bunch of buddies to the Masters. The ESPN, I think it's the only time I'd ever asked them for tickets to anything, and they're like, not a ton has worked out for this guy. Why don't we hook him up? So they gave me like passes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the Double Eagle hosting thing, which if you're doing the Masters right. So, we go to the Wednesday stuff and walk in, and, I'm with some college buddies too. So they hadn't really ever seen like, hey, what can you do here? I'm like, I can't do anything that, like, trust me, at Augusta, there's nothing that I can do here that makes it special. And then Rinaldi sees us, he goes up, and Rinaldi's like, and if you guys can walk the course today, walk it backwards. The perspective that you're going to have over the next 4 days. And he just like gets right into you, and it was like, it was awesome. He Rinaldi'd me once at a hotel lobby, like in the middle of the day. I was like, Ryan, and he's like, how's it going? And I explained to him, he goes, dude, the important thing to remember. And I was like, this fucking guy.
It's the best.
He's a therapist.
Yeah.
I feel like getting Rinaldi at the Masters. That's peak Rinaldi.
Yeah. That might be heaven. You might have gone to heaven and not realized
the
it.
birds chirping. You probably hear the piano music in the background.
My friends were like, they're like, we can't believe that was like a real thing that just happened.
Yeah.
It felt like he was doing a TV segment for us.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why he's the best.
That's why he's the best.
We'll get back to Russillo in a second. He's brought to you by Chevy. Chevy knows that football season is here, and whether you're grinding through the week or gearing up for kickoff, there's one ride that's always game ready, the Chevy Silverado. The Chevy Silverado is a longtime partner of Part of My Take. It's our favorite truck. It's all about grit. They sponsored the Lowman Trophy, awarded to the nation's top collegiate fullback. I've got one name that's on the short list, the Lowman short list. It is Eli Heidenreich from Navy. Great fullback. That's a little sneak preview of the Lowman Trophy presented to you by Chevy. They are a great partner of Part of My Take. They're a great partner of football. Chevy's built for the hustle, ready for the game. The Silverado is America's most dependable full-size truck. Head to Chevy.com, learn more, and build your own Chevy Silverado today. And now, here is Ryen Russillo.
What fan base in college football gives you the most shit?
Well, it was Indiana last year without question, but I was kind of like, look, Indiana fans are even mean on threads, which is like impossible.
Shout out Threads. By the way, I've had this out we have some Indiana fans here. They're really fucking good this year. Last year,
really good. Really good.
I feel like that was a draw. Like that was what the comments about Indiana. They should have been in the playoff. I never said they shouldn't have been in the playoff, but the comments about Indiana, when they step up, is it going to look the same? It did not. That all proved to be true. This year, it's different. Mendoza's special. Like, this is a different Indiana team than the conversations we had last year where, they'll point to the 10-point loss to Notre Dame. Anyone who watched that game, that wasn't a 10-point game. So that this year's different. This year, if you're not giving Indiana credit this year, then you're a fucking moron and you're stuck in, I don't know where you're stuck. You're just not watching the games. They're awesome.
Totally agree. Last year, it was something where I just, I get so mad about the expansion, and we've covered all this stuff and the realignment, and you go, do you realize when you have an 18-team league, like you can have a really weird scheduling year? So when you look through the 18 teams, other than the Ohio State game, they played, I think, like 7 of the next 8 worst teams in the conference. And of course, they never play anybody out of conference. So then when they had the Ohio State game where it felt like, are you guys just running clock to make this score appear to be a little bit better? And then that's why I think Ohio State came right back. They're like, let's put another touchdown on these fucking guys. And that had a lot to do with Cignetti. And look, to Cignetti's, like, I shouldn't even say it that way. What Cignetti has done here is insane. Like, for all the other coaches that come into a program and host those luncheons, and it's like, okay, we wait until we get our guys in here, and then they fire coordinators. Like, all right, now we have the coordinators we want. For him to do this with a place with such a dismal history in this sport to even do what he did last year, he deserves all the credit. The problem was that he acted like such an asshole so many different times. And people can kind of go to the default, like Lane Kiffin at Tennessee thing, where it's like, no, I'm just doing this to make sure the program gets attention and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, dude, you coached that Ohio State game like you were scared. Like you were just going, let me get through this thing. Let me try to have some sort of score that looks okay when the committee's talking about us. And so I didn't like the idea of a team being able to get into the playoff by never beating anyone. And then the one game that mattered, looking like they weren't even close to being in the same class. But then the SEC pisses down their leg. Like I wasn't arguing for Alabama even before the last loss of the season for them. Ole Miss loses to Florida. South Carolina has lost. You're like, look, all these teams lost. So Indiana's getting into this thing. And I was more okay with it at the end, even though I didn't think they were good. And you're exactly right about the Notre Dame thing. And then that day when like Cignetti was on with Game Day, like he went crazy again. And then at the beginning of the year, when he talks about his schedule, saying, hey, we're going to do the SEC schedule thing. And you're like, do you want to go through the Power 4 opponent stuff? Like, do you want to bring up that record in the out-of-conference stuff? Of course you don't want to do that. Why you don't play anybody? So I was still like a little pre-pissed, or I would say leftover pissed from 24.
Yep.
Watch the Illinois game, and you're like, Illinois is good. And this is something I'd love to do with you guys at some point. Like, do we need to rank like 45 teams? Because I feel like there's always this group from like 20 to 40 where I kind of reference it as like the meaty good. And they may lose at the wrong time, right on being the cusp of being ranked, and then they're not ranked, but then you're never given credit for beating that team. Like at times, like I think beating USC last year, despite the record, like that's still a good win, not just because LSU lost to them. There's other teams like that this year where I'm like, you know what, beating that team is actually a good win. I don't care if they don't have a number next to them. So the Illinois part of it, and then just think that for 3 hours they were that much better than Oregon, even though the score was 20-20 when they throw the pick six. And then Mendoza goes right down the field after throwing a pick six to Autzen. All the momentum is shifted, 75 yards, touchdown. The two receivers are studs. The running backs are awesome. Frazier, the linebacker's great. There's like three guys in the D-line that feel like they're making plays. And Mendoza raises their level. So this is not like I felt like I was right the entire time with Indiana last year, and it was so annoying for a fan base that had never really tasted it before to now be in the conversation. It's like, hey, this isn't about whether or not you're any good or you're going to have 8 wins. This is about whether or not you're going to compete for a national championship, and I'm going to push against that considering what this schedule was. But to me, it's like it's a different uniform now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is anybody even doing that anymore, though?
I don't think so, not after the Oregon one. But, like, yeah, they are legit. They are going to, I can't wait to see them most likely in the Big Ten Championship against Ohio State. But I think this team is every bit as good as pretty much every other team in the top 10, maybe outside of Ohio State, but Ohio State just might be on a different level than everyone. But that also could be, if Indiana goes to the Big Ten Championship game and beats Ohio State, I wouldn't sit there and be like, how did that happen? That is the craziest upset of all time. No, Indiana has dudes, and they have a dude at quarterback, and I love Cignetti. He is just, it really is insane. Indiana has the most losses in college football history. This is a university that never was good at all. And Cignetti literally came in, said he's going to change everything, and he changed everything in a year and a half. It's absolutely unfathomable that this happened.
I think a big part of it too is we've never had a coach that comes in super arrogant and just like calls his shot from day one before they even practice. And he was like, yeah, I win. Google me. Purdue sucks. Ohio State sucks. Michigan sucks. We've never had a guy that comes in with that level of arrogance that actually does back it up immediately in a big conference like this. And so it's kind of shocking. So because he was so arrogant off the jump in that first year, you start to pick apart what he does. Yeah, it's impressive, but he's not like a powerhouse yet. I still think what Cignetti did last year was incredibly impressive for Indiana. They just weren't like an elite team that was going to ever win a national championship, which is okay for a guy to come in his first year. And if that's the biggest knock you have against him, then he's done a hell of a job, even in year one.
Yeah, whatever annoyances I've had or even reference here, none of it matters. Like what matters is that team went into Autzen and was the better football team against an Oregon team that, the switch over to Moore, and you're like, okay, they didn't really play anybody to start the season, but when you were watching them, you're like, okay, so Oregon has like 7 weapons again, and their quarterback looks like he's one of the best in the country, and you're like, this is a really good football team, and like that's the whole point. Like I have Oregon in my rankings ahead of all those SEC teams still, because I think that much of Indiana. So, any complaint or any issue or any of the things that I referenced to Signetti, like I even realized like in the pie chart of like things that actually matter, it's such a sliver. It doesn't fucking mean anything because that guy, to your point, like I want to know more about what they do. Like, do you have any James Madison stuff? Like I know I have connections to the boosters after going to the after party with PFT after he almost killed the guy from Wisconsin, who then later apologized in the concourse.
Yeah, good guy.
Like, really. Yeah, you guys worked it out. But boy,
now, to be fair, in that moment, I probably had, I had some big balls in the moment because I knew that I had the two best security guards in the world there, Max and then Ryan. Who
and you were in a tuxedo.
And I was in a tuxedo. No one wants to punch a guy in a tuxedo.
You look like
you had
the president.
Russillo, they're just like with biceps swollen, busting through his T-shirt. Like nobody was fucking me that night. It was. I got this guy on call. It was like Robin Big. You were my big.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah, I think Max was ready to jump in because I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing anything because we also had low man position, which in the seats is not helpful.
No, it's tough.
Not a level playing ground at all. So I was like, I don't really want to do this. I don't want this headline. But I was able to connect with a bunch of the JMU people afterwards. I love those guys rocking rugby jackets. Like I've been telling people about you people now since that night. It's like that's a wild group. And I'm really impressed. But I mean, to bring it back to Signetti, like, do you have further perspective? Like,
the only thing that
go ahead.
I was going to say the only thing I've heard about his practices that he would run at JMU was he was like relatively hands off during practice. He would spend a lot of time watching from either in the stands, sometimes in the booth, looking down on practice and like taking in a holistic approach of looking at the team. Now that might not be how he conducts every single practice, but I heard he did a lot of that and then spent a lot of time just by himself breaking stuff down in practice. And then he would give the message to his coaches, okay, here's how we're going to attack it. He wasn't so much like checking in on everybody, micromanaging. He was a big picture guy.
Kadick, who played for Signetti last year, who works with us now, he said that he's got a little like Harbaugh in him, where he's a little off, but in a great way. Where it's like,
is that the one that dates Hannah?
No, that is not. He's a little off. We're gonna have to create like a tree for you, a chart that you can.
Yeah, if you have some index cards, so
we got you.
Caught up on stuff, that'd be great.
We got you. But a little off, but in a great way. Like Harbaugh's a little off, but it's because he just loves football so much that it just keeps everyone a little bit on edge, but in a really sharp way that I think some of these special coaches, like they're wired different and it can really work, especially in this case.
People used to tell me all the time, like he is a clone of Nick Saban, which I would like laugh about because obviously he's not Nick Saban. But people would always tell me like he has so many Saban-like qualities. It would blow your mind if you spent time around him. I never felt like I would ever say that publicly because you're comparing him to the greatest coach who ever lived. But I think you're starting to see some of that, some similarities come through with the guy. When it comes to his football mind. So,
I love he said that UCLA is a 3-0 team. That's a classic. Like, he just gets up in front. He's like, we're playing a 3-0 team because, they changed their coach and they're 3-0. And like, that's how we're approaching this game.
The head coach that no one knows is all.
Yeah.
UCLA, it's just funny because Heisel's in every single picture and it's like the interim head coach is like, am I actually the head coach?
Yeah. Heisel's breaking him down after games.
Yeah.
He's like handing out game balls.
Again, to your point on like the Signetti stuff and being on Saban stuff, whatever it was, whatever this is, and the way his team responds and to turn it around, there are teams all over the country with far better resources, boosters willing to do whatever you need. And for this guy to be like, if we're just average in resources, then I can win here. And you're just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done it. And, I'm not, if they lose, I don't know. Like the fact that, Big Cat, you even said it too, the fact that I'm even thinking of like, if they play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, like I have to think about my pick. And I might go, you know what? Why don't you just go the other way with this instead of clearly Ohio State will be favored. It's going to be impossible to pick against them. We're going to be factoring the history and the uniform and all that kind of stuff. Maybe the smarter football minds can be like, hey, there's a matchup here on the outside, or there's something here with their interior linemen that, advantage Indiana. Maybe like explain it to me because like it doesn't matter. Like if they don't beat them, like this is entire. If they're bounced out in the playoff, they don't win the Big Ten championship game. There's no no one should be going, oh, see, same old Indiana.
No,
Indiana. Like, what are you talking about?
That's the difference. All right, give me a team that is maybe not in the top 5 that you're like, watch out for them. I'll throw one out there. Georgia Tech just keeps winning. They're like they're bizarro world Auburn, and Auburn just finds a way to lose. Like Auburn goes into every game like, hey, watch this. You never thought we could lose this way, and then they lose. Georgia Tech does the opposite, where they just keep. And Brent Key's been awesome, and Haynes King, like he's just a dog. He's not the most talented guy, but I love college football because you can get a guy like Haynes King or Diego Pavia, where it's like this guy might not be some stud NFL player, but he just knows how to play college football.
Yeah, I've been a big Haynes King fan for a while because he's just so incredibly tough.
Yeah.
He's pretty old now too, so like you worry like his knee's going to be hurting him the next day, and then there are times over the course of a season where sometimes watching can be worse for you, and I'll always reference the Iowa-Wisconsin game, where when Iowa had that season, and Dan and I would argue about it all the time, and I'm like, this team should not be playing for a national championship. Okay, they should not be in the conversation because I thought they were so gross. And yet won every single week. And that Wisconsin game in particular, I watched that whole game. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is this? But that was just like one game. I watched the Wake game because Robbie Ashford was out there, who I think the Robbie Ashford story is like one of the most incredible timelines in present day college football. And then everybody would bring him in and be like, this guy's like a 2-sport guy. He's nasty. He got hurt in that game. Then he came back. They weren't able to win it in double overtime. So like, I was like, all right, Georgia Tech's nice. They always seem to outperform expectations. Key's record against ranked teams, especially when they're underdogs, is incredible. But sometimes like that Wake game, there's like a Wake hangover for that one. But I mean, the rest of the way, it's Cuse, it's NC State, BC, Pitt, and then we'll see what happens against Georgia.
Pitt's been playing better, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Louisville call.
Yeah.
I mean, if Louisville's only loss is 3 points to Virginia, who's really good, and Miller Moss is good. Like, I think you can make an argument that Miller Moss was kind of like, I don't know enough about the SC situation, but was the fall guy for that team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To your point about the meaty good earlier, the like 25 to 40 ranked teams in America, how many of those would come from the American? Because that conference right there, if we're talking like group of 5, the top of the American is insanely good right now.
Yeah.
You got Navy, South Florida, Tulane, Memphis, and North Texas. And any one of those teams could make the playoff.
I love North Texas. They just score. That's all they do.
I think all these teams are really good.
East Carolina's good too.
Yeah, put it on Carolina, Coastal Carolina earlier this year. Mm-hmm. I remember I was listening to a gambling show just driving around, and this guy was like, Coastal sucks. No one understands. Like, this team isn't any good. He's like, I'm hammering ECU, and I didn't know anything. Like, and I'm just in the car going, I don't think I've ever heard anyone more confident about a pick, because it was like getting through all the picks and all the headliner stuff. He's like, I got one for you, and then of course I think I was like, they shut him out. And then I was looking at it the next week, and then it was like, are you going to be the moron that trails this the week after he made this pick? And I think Coastal covered the next week. And I was like, okay, that's sort of a win by not getting involved in any of it.
Yeah.
Look, the American thing has had stories all season long, whether it's Memphis getting Arkansas, at the goal line fumble with that game, South Florida, where, there was a part where I'm kind of like arguing about SEC in some of the, because it was always kind of funny, like if the SEC would lose a non-conference game, it's like, oh, hey, Russillo, it just happens to me all the time. And it's like, hey, are you going to bed? Because there's still like 3 more games on tonight. Let's see how these go. So when Florida lost to South Florida, considering how that game played out too, and then a kick, it's like, you know what? South Florida is like it's not a terrible loss, even if it's a non-Power 4 school. And then they get absolutely destroyed by Miami, which I think them beating Florida helped Miami kind of lock into that game there. And then Tulane, who has the revenge game against Duke, gets that win. So that top group has a bunch of really good wins, where I would say in years past, I get kind of frustrated about teams getting through a conference like that and then being allowed to play for a national championship, because I just don't think that because it isn't. It's not an opinion. It's not the same exercise to have to play 12 games in a conference like that. But to your point, the top half of it is is really strong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you were to pick one conference, if you were to say, okay, the Big Ten is going to win the national championship, the SEC is going to win, which one would you bet on?
Oh, the Big Ten.
Easily.
Yeah, because I don't. I mean, look, it's. I'm not saying it's impossible. Bama's growing into something, but Bama gets a lot of the carryover of like Bama. It's like, dude, it's been a couple years now. All right, like it's not. You've got the Milroe loss against Michigan in the playoffs. Again, it's all not on Milroe. They come back last year. They lose 3 games. They're a mess. Ty Simpson, to his credit in that Florida State ass kicking, I thought he was like fighting the whole game. So I did take a positive out of that. And like, this is just an awful 3 hours for Ty Simpson running around as Florida State looks like world beaters. So they're going to have this loss that looks terrible considering what Florida State's going through right now. But, teams are allowed to grow and get better or get worse, which I think is kind of overlooked at times. So I feel like Alabama is rounding into shape here more. And even with the loss, resume-wise, it looks worse than obviously A&M's clean sheet. But, I probably like Tennessee more than I like Georgia, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Their defense, though, man.
Yeah, but that Georgia defense isn't.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's
just all the SEC teams. The SEC is the new Big 12.
Tennessee's defense wasn't necessarily the problem on Saturday. It was the pick 6 at the end of the first half against Alabama. That's the worst possible thing that can happen to a football team. That's it. That's what it is. Like 1 yard line, 2 yard line. You're about to make it like a 2-point game, and then pick 6 as there's 0 seconds left on the clock. In that first half, there's no way that Tennessee was coming back from that.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. I don't trust. Like Alabama hasn't been able to run the ball this year, and they were able to find something against Tennessee.
But I'm telling you, that Hill kid, I don't know how many carries he can get, but I thought he was a big story. And McElroy's always all over it too because of the Alabama part of it. But he was moving bodies around, and it kind of drives me crazy sometimes when these college teams will have like 2 projected first-round tackles can be a little different. But like they say, like one side of the line has a couple NFL guys. You're like, how can you not run the football to that side of the field?
Yeah,
like, what's going on here? I mean, it's a bit like, not to bring them up again, but LSU having 4 of their offensive linemen from 24 drafted, and I was like, I thought that group as a unit wasn't even that good last year, and then 4 guys got drafted. So maybe I'm wrong about it. I'm trying to think of who else here because, sometimes I get a little too married to the number. I was really impressed with BYU against Utah.
Yep. Agreed.
I thought it was a little schedule-y with them. They finally played somebody, although the more I watch Dampier with Utah, I think it limits them. I think it was kind of a fun story in the beginning, but that was also UCLA before they hired Newhouse as the head coach. But, look, that Holy War, those teams hit the shit out of each other. But Bachmeier, he's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's hard because his older brother. I lost so much money gambling as he traveled around the country, and
the number that
pop
he
up on a new team, and I would week 1, I'd just bet a team and be like, "What the fuck? I bet on Hank Bachmeier again." But yeah, no, I was impressed with them. I still like Oklahoma's. The problem with Oklahoma is their schedule is just so ridiculous, but their defense is good. I'm a big Mateer guy. I do think he came back too fast against Texas. But, if they can somehow – they just play so many hard teams. They finished their schedule Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama, Missouri, LSU. That's a murderer's row. But if they somehow finish it 3-2, I don't know. And there's, the 3-loss conversation comes in. Their resume would be up there with anyone else.
Yeah, and Ohio State's got Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and then Michigan. So, I can see how people look at the Big Ten and go,
"Oh, stop! We made such good headway." All right, I got one last question. Again, by the way, if you're listening, please subscribe.
At least hold on. Should we at least mention Notre Dame with this? Because I know you already brought them up. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Carr's good, and look, love however you want to just talk about football players.
Yes.
Jeremy Bernard's one of my favorite football players in all of college football, the receiver for Alabama. Every time he gets something out to the sideline, it's a 5-yard gain, and then the guy has the angle on him, and he goes to tackle him, and it's guess who's still standing up on the sideline? It's Jeremy Bernard. The guy's nuts. Love for Notre Dame. I don't think there's 10 better football players in college than him. Again, I'm not talking about draft picks or the scarcity or the importance of the position or whatever, but every time that kid gets going, I'm I don't think there's that many players that are playing on Saturdays that are better than he is.
He should be Heisman. I mean, what he did was special. He should be Heisman.
Dude, how about the Heisman stuff right now? Like, who the hell is going to win?
No one
So
knows.
you know what I'm hoping for? Because Jeremiah Love was my
guy you
Heisman
bet
pick
on?
before the season.
Did
No,
you
I
bet on
want.
it? Of course you did.
I really want Jeremiah Love to get like almost identical to Ashton Genty's numbers, and then just be like, "We fucked up last year, guys. We got to make it right. We got to vote Jeremiah Love this year." He's not going to get to his numbers, but he does have a soft schedule at the end. And also Notre Dame, by the way, I said it after they started 0-2. I was like, they're actually in the exact same spot they were last year because the Northern Illinois loss was 1 loss. This is 2 losses to playoff teams. They're going to run the table. They're going to figure it out. They're going to be in the playoff. And I think more than that, they're a legit, very, very good team now where it's not just, oh, they played a soft schedule. They figured some stuff out, and they lost with a freshman quarterback on the road week 1 in Miami, and then lost with a fucked up kick against Texas A&M, who's undefeated. That Notre Dame is good. Notre Dame is good.
Yeah, the NC State game was kind of like a weird slow start, and then once they'd given up a ton of points to Purdue, because I was in the same boat as everybody else. But again, I think we do it far too often. It's like, okay, they have these 2 good losses. We all agreed that Carr was good. We felt good about Carr after losses, which is an okay thing to do. The same way I felt great about Howard in the loss against Oregon last year because I didn't really know what to make of him coming over from K-State. And then even losing, I go, you know what, though? They have something in Howard here. So they're going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the same thing, even though Howard had a longer resume of games that we'd seen him play in, CJ being new, that Miami game was like, hey, this looked like everything was working against him, and now he's got this team back into this whole thing. But there were then, after we just go, hey, they're going to be favored against the next 10 opponents, it's like, okay, but we're acting like it's way too easy to be like, okay, they'll just have to go 10-0 now.
Yeah.
Having said that, even with how come the defense is a little weird, they look like they could have scored 100 points against Arkansas.
Yep.
And yeah, the NC State game was kind of like a weird start to the whole thing, but there's just a lot that I really like, and it starts with Love at running back, and it's kind of a 2-headed monster there. So the offense is fine. I don't know if the defense will be as good as. I mean, what are we talking about? Elite defenses right now? 2 teams, Ohio State and Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, A&M has some really good stats, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And then coming off the Arkansas game, it makes it's a tough case to make that A&M's defense is the level of those other 2 Big Ten teams.
I'd agree. Okay, so Ryan, everyone subscribe. New podcast coming out November 3rd. I have one last question, Roback question, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, roback.com, promo code TAKE. Who's going to win the NBA title?
I'm picking the Denver Nuggets.
Okay. Nice.
Interesting.
There's no reason to pick against OKC. They're going to be even better. Chet will be better. He'll probably play more games. I mean, missed like 50 games last year. Jalen Williams, even though he's got this issue that he's dealing with and is going to be in the opener tonight, he likely would be better. Wallace will be better. They've got Topich. They're just going to be better. So it doesn't make any sense. Anybody that wants to pick them, I'm like, hey, that's great. I picked them last year. I want to do something a little different this year, so I'm picking the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, and in the East, how big of a disappointment would it be if the 76ers did not make the NBA Finals this year?
Good question.
Wait, how big of
Yeah.
If they're like a 48-50 win team and Embiid's healthy and they're ready to go, and look, he's never gotten out of the second round. So an Eastern Conference Finals appearance for that team would be a huge win. So I wouldn't, if they didn't get through the East, I would never be like, oh, hey, I wouldn't be like, hey, that's a real huge disappointment they weren't able to get through.
I would. I mean, he's the MVP. Why? He won an MVP. It's a down year for the East. You got a lot of superstars injured that would be on teams that would be in their way, teams that have bounced them out of the playoffs in the past. This, to me, is as open as it's ever going to be for the Sixers.
Cleveland's really good, and I know that they don't have the playoff success, but that team won 64 games last year. DeAndre Hunter, coming over to the trade, only played 27 with them. It's the most expensive team in the league, so it's got to work out this year. And I know Mitchell has probably more playoff disappointments, but if you look at his individual stuff and what he's been able to do, this is all time. When he cranks it up in a playoff game, he can kind of hang with almost like anyone historically from a scoring standpoint. So I am so down on the Sixers that I can't sit here and say if they don't get to the NBA Finals, this is a massively like just righting the ship and then being competitive and that would mean that Cleveland, New York, or Orlando, 2 of those 3 teams are out and Philly's playing one of those. Just that would be, I think, a massive, massive successful season for who the Sixers have been here the last couple of years.
I just believe in the Sixers a little bit more than you,
Yeah,
I
I do
guess.
too. I'm
so
gonna pick 'em.
I think Sixers in the East
This is a
easily.
bit.
No, this isn't a bit, Max.
You got to know what they're doing. This is crazy that it's gone this long and that you've taken this as a serious question.
Welcome to Barstool, Ryan. You just got pranked.
Oh, man.
They're just making fun of you.
Yeah, we're setting Max up. We're setting him up for ultimate disappointment.
Max, you don't think this team's going to be any good, do you?
No, that's why. That's the whole. If they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, that would be great. That would be awesome.
Oh man! All right.
Because PFT's like a big NFL guy.
Huge.
So I was like, maybe he's just not. He's not honed
No,
up.
I'm a Josh Harris guy, and Josh Harris he owns the Sixers, so that's what he does. He gets to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I like Josh Harris. And if you hire Bob Myers, who's one of the single most impressive human beings I've ever encountered, then that's a high ranking. Who's your most impressive human being you've ever met?
Stanford Steve.
He's pretty impressive. Just as he
Drinking
might be
next to Stanford Steve that's yeah. I mean, he's got a hollow leg.
He might be my most impressive dude.
Yeah, he's number 1 dude.
Yeah, but Bob Myers, that's an impressive man.
I've seen Steve drunk once, and I've drank a lot with him.
Yep.
There was only one time where I'm like, wait, is your equilibrium off right now? Like, you're always so steady. I mean, like, that's not even it. He'll have some random play for you and be like, what are you against the spread this year? Be like, 11-2 on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanford Steve's a pretty good pick. DiCaprio, Bob Myers, or Stanford Steve. You can't go wrong with any of those 3.
No, that's a good trio.
Who knows? Leo might be a distant third and hanging out, although the water gun fights look fun.
Also, you haven't spent enough time with White Sox Dave yet, which we'll fix. So he could be easily in your top 3 soon.
Yeah, no, that's definitely there's some video only stuff that we talked to Portnoy about doing, and I was like, whatever I do, White Sox Dave, just want to be in it. Maybe like a long form thing or even a travel show.
Oh, travel show. Donnie goes to Turkey.
Well, yeah, but White Sox Dave was like, we can go to Michigan.
Yeah. What about Nicky Smokes? You can go to a dive bar that's not a dive bar. We got the possibilities are endless here at Barstool.
Mm-hmm. Maybe get Ben Mintz to show you around Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Mincy, Mincy is looking for someone to videotape him going to Mexico for widespread panic New Year's. It's 4 nights. I think you're the guy for the job.
That's also in my contract.
No Ben Mintz.
It's just like, I don't want to ruin what it is for me.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's real.
I like being a voyeur.
Yeah. All right, everyone subscribe. Ryan, his first new pod's coming out November 3rd with Cerruti and Kyle. And please subscribe everywhere you get pods. Number one.
Number one. That's pretty good. Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that tweet, and I will say goodbye here, but we have a lot of friends that, they launch the new feed, and then the new feed is up. And then if you have any subscriber growth, which is usually pretty easy to accomplish when it starts at 0 to whatever the new thing is, the Apple show rankings they freak out.
Mm-hmm.
They freak out. And so there's been a few people that have suggested that it's real. So I was like, when it happens to me, because I knew it was going to happen, I was like, I'm going to post, oh my God, I'm number 1, with part of my take. It's so clearly number 1 in sports. Okay. Like, they're so number 1 that I'm offended when other people do it because of you guys. I'm offended for you, not even for me. So I was like, when I go to number 1, and then I went to in the middle of the hostage release, I was ahead of the New York Times. I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, I don't know.
So all categories, I was right up there with the heavy hitters. And it also just reminds me of some of the people that don't even understand that they're not number 1. So it's the people that know they're not number 1 and then mislead the public. And then the next tier is the person that has no idea that they actually aren't number 1. And they're like, holy shit, I'm number 1 in comedy. And you're like, you're not. You're not. So I always wanted to post that when I knew it was going to happen to me, to be like, hey, I'm number 1, and then be like, I'm actually not number 1, and this is why. it shows that I'm number one, but it's going to do all right.
I think the rumors that you were romantically linked with Sabrina Carpenter, those helped.
Yeah.
Like that helps new heights. What if you guys were an item? You'd probably be number one.
Yeah, look, when I like the Kelseys, but that relationship probably cost me so much money. I can't even.
Same.
You guys think I'm fucking kidding?
We should sue Taylor Swift.
Same.
Because you were just like, oh, this is kind of a funny little thing.
Yeah.
And then, you're like, huh, what?
Oh, shit. And they're playing in the Super Bowl against each other?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. And I'm a free agent while this is happening, and now they're getting engaged. And now she got her master's back. I'm like, fucking slow down the content train. Like, my deal's up here. And I was like, I don't know what to do here. And my agent's like, is there anything you can do? And I was like, I'd probably not date somebody like that. And he's just like, well, not with that fucking attitude.
Get out there.
Come on, Ryan. You're a catch.
So, if you're just going through the Mad Men roster of like, who was in this that I could DM? Still not seeing anybody. I'd be like, what I really loved is in season 4 when you. All right.
All right, Ryan, you're the best. Everyone subscribe. And there's talks. I was texting with Cerruti. There's talks of maybe figuring out a time when we can get your 3 boys in here to maybe do a Thursday night football stream or something. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah, can't wait. We will do that. We'll get to Chicago. I know Kyle is really excited about it, and he's the only person I've ever met that desperately wanted to move back to Poughkeepsie, New York. And he, this allowed him to get to move home, and the guy loves his family, and he wanted to be near his family, so he got to move home. And so part of it, I was like, well, you can move to Chicago if you want. And he was like, well, does that mean Poughkeepsie's off the table? I'm like, dude, totally on the table, because he didn't want to live in LA. So you get to go home, but he'll be in Chicago. So thanks, guys. Thanks for everything. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Ryen Russillo is brought to you by Campbell's and the Chunky Mantry. It's a place where one can do and or get everything they crave from one spot. You can eat delicious food, watch football, you can listen to your favorite sports podcast. You can do it all in the Chunky Mantry. I've actually been fully on into soup this soup season. Soup season started last week. I've had like 4 different soups. I've been eating Campbell's. Love everything that Campbell's Chunky has to offer. And the Chunky Mantry is a place to go where a fan's craving time for themselves, where you'll be able to enjoy and consume the things that you love without being bothered. You can consume the biggest matchups of the week. You can eat some delicious Campbell's Chunky soup. Chunky is everything you crave. Chunky takes the best of every flavor, makes them bigger, bolder, more craveable. Chunky is bold, it's meaty, it's got all the craveable flavors that you need to tackle your hunger. And when it comes to football, Chunky's got the food covered, but what else are you craving this NFL season? I'm just craving more delicious soup. Soup's been so good. It's been good to me. I love soup, and this weather, nothing warms you up like soup. Fills in the cracks. Chunky is everything you crave, no matter what you crave or when you crave it. Chunky delivers 110%. Russillo was also brought to you by our great friends over at Experian. Experian has your back. They are your big financial friend, and they're looking out for you even when you don't know about it. Some listeners might be looking for a travel credit card so you can maximize rewards on your trip to London for the Super Bowl. Others might be looking for a cashback card to help pay doctor's bills because their ankle is never going to heal. But no matter what kind of card you're looking for, Experian can show you personalized credit card offers based on your credit profile. Even better, cards labeled no ding decline won't hurt your credit scores if you're not approved, so you can apply with confidence. Did anybody know that if you apply for a card and you're declined, it could actually hurt your credit score? That's why we need Experian. It's like having a financial coordinator in your pocket, minus the headset. Take control of your finances with your big financial friend Experian. Find a card matched to you today. Download the Experian app now.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. We got FAQs. Henry.
First time, long time. Oh, what the?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. What happened?
What is the story behind trying to spoil the Sopranos for Hank? Yeah, actually. Just do tell.
Well, Hank...
They're just bad people.
No,
I don't remember it.
No, Hank...
No, I'll tell a story.
Hank was 10 years late.
No, that PFT talk.
Yeah.
I started watching The Sopranos, and I was like, I'm
20
watching
years
The
after.
Sopranos, guys. Okay, so now you're gatekeeping when a person can watch or not watch a show.
No.
That's fucked up.
You
That's
just
literally
can't,
what you're
you
doing.
can't
22.
expect. You can't expect there to be no spoilers.
It's 10 years late.
Like spoilers
Who
happen
cares?
naturally in life.
I told you guys privately I was watching a show, and then you guys
Spoilers
decided to not tell me privately spoilers, on the podcast that I was producing that we had to record, so I could not avoid it.
Okay.
You said it into the mic that I would then have to listen to in real time and then listen to again.
Well, to be fair, Hank, I thought that you knew that Adriana was a rat, and that Christopher turned her into the FBI, and he said that he was just going to go out for a while and they were going to move away. And then she got picked up in a car and taken to the woods and shot. We thought that you knew that already.
I'd like to say something.
But no, you didn't. You knew I didn't know that because I told you where I was in the watching.
I'd like
you
to
knew
say
that I was
something.
not at that point yet.
You knew that Sylvia was going to pick her up and be like, we're going to the hospital, and then take her to the woods.
Can I say something? Please, Hank?
I guess, yeah. Fine.
The way you just explained it, I want to say that's really fucked up of us and we're assholes. Hearing it back, that was fucked up. We are.
It was a segment on the show called Spoilers.
We're assholes.
Nope, that's not true. That's not true.
You
just invented that. You guys would do it. You guys would just weave them into the show for weeks. It wasn't a one-time thing.
No. We're bad people, and we took something like when Bobby Bacala was with his train set and he got whacked. We took something you loved, and then we killed you right in front of it.
I never finished it, so I didn't love it. Okay. I was like, I'm liking this show, and then you spoiled it for me.
I don't know.
Our bad.
I think we're just talking about pop culture on the show.
It's not like we ran over your head like Phil Leotardo's head.
It popped.
I don't know what that means.
His head popped. It was crazy in a gas station.
What do you want us to do? Suck your dick?
I don't know what that means.
Like Vito in the whole season that he was gay?
Sure.
Okay.
He's still mad about this. He's still very upset.
Yeah, we
about
do
this.
sound like there's no telling of the story that doesn't make PFT and I look like assholes.
There's not.
I like how you tried to apologize there, and Hank was like, "I don't know why you're apologizing." And then PFT said one more thing, and then he just ignored what you said about apologizing. Continue to be mad at PFT.
Yeah. Listen, Hank, if you're going to get it spoiled by somebody, you'd want it to be somebody that you knew and trusted, like when Tony went after Steve Buscemi and waited for him with a shotgun outside his house.
His cousin, yeah.
Steve Buscemi was in Sopranos?
Yeah, fresh out of jail. You should watch it.
He tried to become a massage therapist afterwards. He tried to go straight, but it wasn't working out for him. He had a rage problem.
Fell back on that life.
And then Tony found out he was going off the handle and doing jobs for other crews. And then Tony was like, if someone's going to kill him, it should be me.
Yeah.
That's how we felt about it. We didn't want some random person online to spoil it for you. So we did it ourselves.
Do you think there's anyone right now who's listening to Sopranos or watching Sopranos for the first time?
Spoiler!
Yeah. No, every time I sprinkle one in, I get one person be like, "What the fuck?"
Well, this was a lot.
Yeah, this was a lot.
This was a lot.
This was a lot of him.
So
This is a lot.
you could just ruin it for.
Yeah.
We might have just fucked that like Carmela fucked AJ's teacher.
Sup, PMT guys. Appreciate all that you guys do. If you weren't doing the pod or anything with Barstool, period, what career do you think you guys would have?
Hating my life?
I would. I think I would have gone back to the used dog game. I think that would have been a lot of fun. I don't know. I try not to think about that because at this point we're so far down this hole that it's like we don't really have any skills that would transfer over to a real job.
I am, in terms of the real world, I am so fucking stupid. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Sitting in a meeting, typing things. These are things I don't have any ability to do anymore.
Logging on to Teams.
Oh.
I almost wanted to be an accountant.
Oh.
Max.
No offense to accountants. Listen.
Yeah.
No, it's an offense to Max.
I'm so far down the line of I'm just a stupid person now.
I may be the least proficient person in
stupid
Excel
person
in the
then.
world.
Have you gotten dumber?
Yeah. I can never work a real job
Right.
at this point. It's too late.
Burn the boats.
This
remember,
is our
like,
life.
Freshman year, I just.
I don't think I would have ended up working a real job when I started working here, but now I definitely would not be able to.
I will say there are some times that I kind of I don't want to shit on people who are sitting in an office right now because there's parts of it that are like we'll never get to turn it off. Like going to games, having weekends where you don't have to, be glued to everything.
That's what I like about the Monday Night Football games.
I know.
The standalone. You get to just kind of chill on the couch.
Shout out to all the hardworking people out there. Thank you for listening. We didn't mean to We were more shitting on Max being an accountant.
Max
That
would be
the
the
worst accountant. You'd go to jail if you hired him to
Terrible
account for
accountant.
you.
I just got like one good grade in an accounting class freshman year, and I was like, maybe I could be an accountant.
Yeah.
Like make decent money.
Do you know how to use a spreadsheet?
At the time, I was okay. Now, no.
We're just so far gone. I'm so far gone.
Yeah, I'm out of that.
Yeah.
Even having a formal meeting with anyone is just uncomfortable.
I've
to
aged
me.
out of the workforce. Can you imagine like logging into Microsoft Teams or whatever every
I don't
morning?
know how to use anything.
Yeah, Slack.
I use 3 things on my
I'd be
computer. and it
Slack.
breaks.
I'd be slacking.
We use Slack.
Yeah, you guys do. They
We
do
do
Slack.
Slack.
They Slack.
Slack.
They talk shit about us on Slack.
That's not true.
Oh, memes? A little bit?
No.
What would you do, memes? You were an accountant.
Accounts receivable.
Accounts receivable. What is that?
That sounds like accounting.
See, I don't even
That
know what
sounds
that
like
is.
accounting.
It's a part of accounting. It's money
That-
that comes in.
When we started Stella Blue, I remember I sat in a meeting and they were talking about P&L. And I had to pull someone aside after. I was like, hey, they keep saying that shit. What does that mean? It's profits and losses.
So accounts deliverable is what? That's paying people? Memes?
You said accounts deliverable?
Yeah.
Receivable?
No, deliverable is
Were you
there's
receivable?
accounts payable and there's accounts receivable.
Which one were you?
Accounts receivable. That's
So you
money
were-
coming in. Accounts payable is money going out.
You were getting money?
Hmm?
You were getting
Assets
money?
in there somewhere.
it sounds
Assets.
We're breaking people's brains right now.
accounts receivable is for the diva accountants.
Wait, you were getting money in? You were just counting the money that was coming
Yeah,
in?
money coming in. Yeah.
You were just counting it?
Yeah, just count it all.
Do bosses like the people in that department more than they like the people in the accounts payable? Because like these are my I get money guys.
Like these are
They like everybody the same.
these are jobs I don't even when I've gotten so stupid, functionally stupid, that when you ask what jobs would you be, I'm like firefighter or astronaut.
Major League Baseball.
I don't know what accounts receivable is. I'm sure we have it here. Okay, good question.
Who smells the best?
I would guess maybe Zach. Zach, you a cologne guy?
I'm not a huge cologne guy. No, I'm just a soap guy, deodorant guy.
Okay.
I smell
probably
pretty
smell
good.
average.
I have some cologne I wear.
Yes.
I got on Gruden's cologne.
Oh, the Creed?
Yeah,
It's good scent.
It's
Yeah.
good shit.
I've
Just
started
one
to
spritz.
I've started to take a little cologne in the mornings. I wouldn't say that we're a particularly great smelling crew.
I don't think we're bad. I think we're
Yeah.
neutral. We're a neutral smelling podcast.
I would argue that's the best. That's the best place to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes when guys smell too good, it's like, what are you trying to do?
No, I do
Men
one
shouldn't smell good.
Yeah, I do one spritz of cologne on my when I get out of the shower on with no shirt on. So that way, because I do think that if you spray it on your shirt, it becomes too much.
Yeah.
So I just like to have a little bit of it on my body, and then a faint hint of it.
Do you ever put it on your wrist?
Nah, because I feel like that's too much.
Yeah, it's too
You
much.
don't want to be a too much cologne guy.
You know who the best smelling person I've ever met in real life is? Never in a million years.
I do.
Oh yeah, I
I mean,
probably told
Jerry
you.
is number one. but
No,
yeah.
no. Out of all the people that we've met doing this show, there's one person that smells far and away better than any other celebrity I've ever met, and I guarantee you 0% of the people that are listening to this will guess it correctly.
Okay, give it to me.
It's Carrot Top.
Oh,
Carrot Top smells incredible.
wow!
And
I would not have guessed. That.
No, and it was shocking to the point where I was asking other people, like, "Hey, you smelling this guy?" They're like, "Yeah, he smells amazing." He was doing a live Celebrity Dozen with us. I think that was in Vegas,
Yep.
right? And I asked him, I was like, Carrot Top, what is that smell that you have? And he would not tell me. He said he has his own custom cologne
Holy
that's
shit.
mixed just for him that he wears. And it delivers. Whatever he
That's
pays
awesome.
for it, it works. You guys know
That's
what they make
awesome.
cologne out of? And perfume?
What are you gonna say? Like dog asshole?
Pretty much.
Oh shit!
Whale shit.
Ooh.
They make cologne out of whale shit.
Why are you looking at assets, liabilities, and owner's equity?
I said assets. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's some sort of equation with assets, and I was right. And then, but accounts receivable part of assets.
We're stupid.
Yeah.
Idiot jazz. That it?
That's it.
Okay. Good show, guys.
Good show.
Numbers.
3.
Oh, I
that's
think
Mames.
that was Hank. What do we got?
Pug's making the decision.
That'd be track number 7. That'd be me.
Oh.
Damn. Fucked him up. You fucked him up, memes.
Pug off
Like
of a
Tony
win.
fucked
Should have
up
gone 99.
Ralph Cifaretto when he thought that he killed his horse.
33.
And we'll never know. If he
I'll go
killed his horse.
25.
22.
And I'll wait till Jack takes it.
7.
44.
99 pug.
86.
What do you have, 50?
37. Anybody else take 37?
I took 33. Let's see 3.
53. 53? Anyone?
53.
Anyone? One more real quick, the same numbers?
Yes.
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
stick
Real
with
quick.
them.
Same number.
Same numbers, same numbers.
Who's gonna fucking win?
No, but you're gonna get. You're
gonna
we do,
get
we
it,
do
dude.
multiple
The more
numbers.
This
numbers
is good for you.
The more
Yeah, one
numbers
of you
is
guys
better
always
for you.
win it.
This is
Good
bad
for you.
Like Hank wasn't getting these many polls.
That's facts.
He literally did one where he did like 10.
55.
55.
No one.
Love you guys.